Welcome to the channel and welcome to Warhammer 40k 8th edition. It's Space Marines versus Chaos Space Marines. Today on the channel we're outside of the gates of the Temple City where Abbadon the Despoiler and his Black Legion have been despoiling, doing what the Black Legion do, and the 13th have tracked them down and are deploying. So for those of you who've been watching the narrative, who've been watching the story time on the channel, know that the 13th, and in particular Sol Garro, my brother captain, has a beef against the Black Legion. So this time it's personal, and this time we're going to be playing a 200 point narrative game, basically the 13th versus the Black Legion. Now here out in the wastes outside the Temple City, it's rather open and there's not a lot of line of sight, and we are going to be playing Dawn of War deployment. We don't know who's deploying on what side yet, but I can imagine that the Black Legion have been despoiling, doing what they do. The 13th are now in system and have been attacking and have been harassing them, and have managed to draw Abbadon out, and now Sol Garro will be deploying with the remainder of his force to take him out. This side of the walls of the Temple City, there's a lot of cover and a lot of line of sight blocking terrain. So we're making up for it on this side. Of course, anyone inside any of these rubble patches, all the ruins, will be getting +1 to their cover save, and firing past the walls of the Temple City out into the wastelands will be extremely restrictive. So 200 power is about 3,500 points. It's gonna be a big game. And in this narrative game, we've come up with our own scenario. No first blood, no line breaker. Instead, we're both going to be going after each other's HQs, each other's characters. So the 13th are trying to cut the head from the snake, find Abbadon, destroy him, and dismantle his HQs. And the Black Legion are going to be doing exactly the same thing. So we've both got 5 characters each. There's going to be a point for killing every character. There's going to be a point for slay the Warlord. And if a character kills another character, you get 2 points. That's it. That is the only victory conditions we have. So there will be a clear winner at the end of this game. We're going to be going for random game lengths. So a point for killing characters, 2 points if your character kills a character. Nice, plain, simple. The 13th will be trying to murder, death, kill their way through the Black Legion, the way through those traitorous dogs. Talking about traitorous dogs, Chewy's back on the channel. Say hi, Chewy.
Hi, Chewy.
Thank you for bringing your Black Legion down. I think there's a number of people who listen to the Brother Captain Sol Garro story time. Did you listen to that one?
I did indeed. Yeah.
So you know about Sol Garro's secret. You know that he's a man out of time, that through a warp misadventure, through travels in the warp, got propelled from the time of the Horus Heresy through 10,000 years in the future. You know his secret. You know that he knows Abbadon personally, and I really hope he gets into close combat with him and takes his head off. Mind you, to be honest, so long as Abbadon falls, I'll be a happy bunny.
He won't fall.
So Chaos versus Space Marines, a classic matchup, lots of points, a big power level game, and it's going to be epic. Let's take a look at these armies. Okay, this is exactly 200 power level of Space Marines, and it's got 2 battalions in it and the one with all the heavies, which gives me 14 command points to play with. So 5 per battalion, that's 10, plus the one with all the heavies, 11, plus 3 for getting 3. For Clement about Forged Army, 14 command points to play with. Now, I wanted to bring them all as Iron Hands chapter tactics, but I couldn't because of narrative reasons, because those that have been following the channel know that the Primaris contingent of the 13th are known as the Second Company, and these reinforcements have come from a crack, and these reinforcements use the Primaris, not the Primaris, use the Ultramarines gene seed. So despite the fact that I wanted to bring them as Iron Hands, because that's very 13th, very classic, this battalion detachment will all be Ultramarines. I've got Lieutenant Krieger at the front there, along with a Librarian. The Librarian will have a Null Zone and Might of Heroes, 3 units of Intercessors, and 2 units of Hell Blasters in the back. And that's it. it made narrative sense to me to bring along some of the Primaris to this fight. If it's a grudge match between the Imperium and the forces of Chaos, so they would not leave the Second Company out in the cold. They want to bring these new pups along and train them in the art of war, the art of taking down Chaos Space Marines. And then here are the other 3 HQs. So those are worth a point each, or 2 points if Chewie kills them with another character. And then we have the other 3 HQs, so Lieutenant and Chaplain Snow and Brother Captain Sol Garro. Now, Brother Captain Sol Garro's got Iron Resolve, so he's got an extra wound. I think that gets him up to 6 wounds. And the relic I gave him, he's got a relic blade, so it's +2 strength, -3 AP, D3 damage a time, because he's carried that blade for many, many years. And the relic that I gave him was the Shield Eternal, because he needs the extra buffing here. He needs to stay alive, and to my mind it just shows just how stubborn he is, just how hard he is to kill. And the Shield Eternal means that any wounds that he takes are halved, rounding up. So he could potentially take a las cannon to the face. Instead of it doing 6 damage, it might only do 3 damage. But then he is a very, very stubborn cookie. And Chaplain Snow is coming along as well, because basically Sol Garro could not keep him at home. The Black Legion are here. I am coming. I'm the voice of the 13th. I am coming. So he is coming. And these guys, of course, will have Iron Hands Chapter Tactics, ignoring wounds on the 6-up. I've got 4 units of 5 troops. And the 2 squads at the front. This is a Plasma Combi Plasma squad. Plasma Combi Plasma. These 2 squads at the back, Melter, Combi, Melter. So that's my troops. In the heavy slot, devs with missile launchers, devs with las cannons, Predator. And this Dreadnought here is a Mortis Pattern Contemptor Dreadnought. You find it in the Forge World Index. He's not in the regular Space Marines Index. He's a point higher. He's 8 power instead of 7 power with his twin auto cannons. So he's coming along. And I technically have a 6th character. He doesn't count as a character. This is Brother. This is Honoured Brother Matthias is coming along to the fight, the oldest surviving member of the 13th. He just had to come too. He's got a twin las and a flamer on him. And then we have the Storm Raven, the Fire Raptor, and a Land Raider Crusader. There's 5 Terminators over here, normal shooty Terminators. Now the idea is Sol Garro jumps in one of the Land Raiders with some of the Terminators, maybe stick a Librarian in there as well, and go straight up the gut. And then Snow jumps in the Storm Raven with the Assault Terminators and the Ironclad Dreadnought at the back. So I've got 2 gun carriages coming forward with 5 Terminators in each. Snow leading the charge on the Storm Raven, Sol Garro leading the charge with the Terminators and the Land Raider Crusader, and coming straight for the Black Legion lines. I'll be supported by some heavy fire from the Devastators and from the heavy slots, as well as gunfire up above from the Storm Fire Raptor in the backfield there, which is also from Forge World. It's in the index. So a significant push with laying down overlapping fields of fire while the troops push forward and hold the castle secure. So there is method in this list here. There's method in the madness. Who will cut the head off the snake? Will it be Sol Garro or will it be Chaplain Snow? Either of them will do as far as I'm concerned. Right, this is 199 power of Chaos Space Marines. It's a brigade, so that's 12 command points plus the 3, 15. Abbadon, when you bring him along, gives you +2 more?
Yes.
+2 more. And then you spent one already on an extra relic.
Yes, that's right.
So 199, I like it. What do we? So the Warlord is going to be Abbadon the Spoiler, right?
Well, of course, yeah, because he needs to taste the fresh blood of the Primaris, because he hasn't fought in my army the Primaris yet. So
hasn't he?
No, so he wants to taste the blood of the freshness of the pups, as you say.
And he halves damage as well, rounding up. That's his thing, isn't it?
Yes.
So both Sol Garro and him have got a similar ability now. It'd be epic if they both get in close combat.
Oh, he's gunning for him, yeah. He's gunning for Garro.
Oh, bring it. Bring it. What else we got HQ-wise?
HQ-wise, we've got Dark Apostle.
Yes.
Exalted Champion.
Yes.
Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator armour, and
Yes.
Chaos Lord in the Terminator armour, who's got the Axe of Blind Fury.
So he's got the Axe of Blind Fury. Where's the other relic?
The other relic's got is with the Apostle.
And it's what?
Black Mace.
So he's got the Black Mace, he's got the Axe of Blind Fury. You really want to get up there punchy, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Because Black Legion have +1 leadership, but their Death to the False Emperor explodes on 5 rather than 6s.
If they're within 6 of Abbadon.
If they're within
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other thing that Black Legion do is when they advance, their bolters become assault weapons and they can fire them.
Yes.
So lots of bolt guns here, and you could advance away and still fire them. That's nice. 1 librarian each. I like it. What psychic powers did you give to this guy?
I have to go with warp time all the time.
Yeah, that's good.
Then I've got diabolic strength, which is 2+ strength and 1 to the attack.
Okay.
And obviously the smite.
And yeah. Okay, sweet. What am I looking at? So where are we starting?
Well, at the back, my heavy supports, I try and do it in chunks.
Yeah.
2 Trilads Prez with a Land Raider.
Yeah.
And then 2 Mortal Fiends. I don't leave home without them.
Yeah, with the lash of tendrils, right?
Of course.
They are very good.
Yes.
Then
the Elite's choices, I've got 2 squads of Terminators with varying weapons, lots of Melter and Flamer.
Yeah.
Corn Berserkers.
Yeah.
Or Hounds of
Abbadon.
Yes, that's why they're painted that way.
Yep.
And then 10 Possessed.
Okay. Who are these guys?
These guys here?
Yeah.
They are Raptors.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Warp Talons.
Okay.
But I've nominated different Chaos Gods, so they're Slanesh.
Right.
With Icon of Excess.
Yeah.
So they have the rule of 4, 5 or 6 on the Death to the False Emperor.
Oh yeah, of course, because you can get icons everywhere.
Yes.
So Slanesh, what else are we looking at?
Slanesh, you've got...
you might as well do the corn thing on the corn.
Yeah, corn, yes, of course, with the Icon of Wrath, so revolt to charge.
Yeah.
Tough choice in this one. I've gone for Slanesh.
Bikes.
Yeah.
What does Slanesh do?
Well, you can play the card of, I forgot what it's called, but you can do the extra shots.
Right.
So they've got lots of DACA, so I thought extra shots instead of combat, because they're not really combat orientated.
There's a fist in there though, right?
There is a fist
and a couple of melters.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of melters in your army.
Yes, I do. Lots of punch.
I like it.
And then I've got the Slanesh Chaos Space Marines, 2 lots of them.
Right.
Okay. 1 long range, 1 short range, up in your face again.
Yeah.
I really want to get up in your face.
So these are extra attacks.
Yes.
With the chainsaws and these are, okay, nice.
And then 4 lots of 10 cultists.
Right.
And that's it, apart from the 2 rhinos at the back.
Last time I fought you, you brought lots of cultists and I had Death Guard. Did I turned all your cultists into poxwalkers?
You did. Yeah, they've recovered. They've taken their aspirin and they're fine.
They're fine now. Okay, so you've got a quite amount of shooty in the backfield. You've got quite a amount of punch. I like the fact that we've both got 2 units of 5 Terminators each. I like the fact that we've both got 1 librarian each. I have got air power. You don't have any flyers in this list. Mind you, I've only got 2 flyers. Having said that, I think I've got about 6 or 8 las cannons, and you've got 16 back there straight away. So yes. You've got a lot of las cannons, and like I said, a lot of melters spread around here. There are like melters in this squad, melters in that squad. So it should be very balanced. Plus, you've got a lot of command points to play with.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting stuff. So 199 power of Black Legion. Let's go on to deployment. And we're deployed for this 200 power level game of Space Marines versus Chaos Space Marines. And I put most of my stuff outside the Temple City. Not necessarily because it is a tactical thing to do, but because it made narrative sense to me. Abbadon, the Despoiler, and the Black Legion have been despoiling. So I thought that the 13th would have been pushing in from the wastes. And so I've got a unit of intercessors here guarding the absolute flank. There's the lieutenant of the Primaris force, the 2nd company, stood there, allowing a re-roll wound roll of 1 bubble. And I've got the Dreadnought, I've got Brother Matthias with his twin las cannons. There's a Devastator Squad here, Devastator Squad there, Hellblasters, and Predator. A nice little castle pushing its way out of the ruins and making their way, out of the wastes and making their way towards the ruins. And as I started putting the big guns up here, Chewie started dropping the big guns opposite them. So both of the Trilas Predators went down there with a little Black Legion screen in front and a Rhino there and the Forge Fiend there, or Mauler Fiend there, as I started dropping and dropping and dropping. But then Chewie also started dropping stuff over here in the ruins. There's the other Mauler Fiend and some bikers and all the cultists over here. And what's in that rhino over there, Chewie?
That's the Hounds of Abbadon, the priest. No, so that's the apostle and
Right.
the champion.
So that's Khorne Berserkers, basically. And who's in this one?
That's Slanesh Chaos Space Marines.
Okay, Slanesh, a mark of Slanesh Chaos Space Marines. So spreading out your troops right and left. And then I did start putting a screen down. So there's a squad here, squad there. And the intercessors up here and here. The way I figured for me is that some guys were beginning to push through into the Temple City. Some guys have got a footprint. Inside this thing, the Land Raider, I've got Brother Captain Sol Garro, the Librarian, and the Lieutenant, the non-Primaris Lieutenant, chugging their way along the edge of the city. And so that made narrative sense to me. And then the flyers, of course, flying crisscross patterns through the sky, dropping ordnance. They're already above the city, and the Ironclad and Chaplain Snow and 5 Terminators are inside that one with hammers and shields, being supported by the Fire Raptor, ready to lay down some fire support. And who's in your Land Raider? You put that one down last.
Possessed.
The Possessed are in there. Now, where is Abbadon? Where is he?
He's hiding. No, he's not hiding. He's ready to do a tactical strike against at the right time. So
Teleport Homer zinging away, right?
yes.
So who's he got as a bodyguard with him?
2 lots of Terminators and the Sorcerer.
Right, okay. And they're all in reserve.
Yes.
And because the Sorcerers and Terminator armor, where are the Warp Talons? They're in reserve as
They're
well?
reserve and the Raptors are as well.
Okay. I've got a Teleport Homer down here. That's that little symbol I've stuck there. And a Teleport Homer on the other side, down in the castle back here. So some stuff will be ripping their way out of the warp. Some stuff will be teleporting in. Abbadon, obviously, after destroying most of the Temple City, had retreated. And now the 13th are here calling out his name.
He hasn't retreated.
Well, no, what I mean is not retreated. No, look at this place. You've destroyed it.
Yeah, he's having a well-earned rest.
Yeah, he's gone back for a tactical debrief.
And a cup of tea.
And a cup of tea. And now the 13th have turned up, and he's like, well, I've got to get back there.
Yes.
So he's got to kick his slippers off.
That's it.
And put out his cigar or whatever I'm sure there's something very unhealthy in the cigar he smokes. And makes his way back to the battle grid. So yeah, we're ready for this. Now, in narrative games, there's different conditions to who goes first. So some narrative games are attack and defend, and the attacker always goes first. Some are you roll off. In this case, what we decided to do, because this is a custom narrative scenario, is I've got 200 power level, you've got 199. So we're going to roll off but give you +1, just like chapter approved, because you've got less points. And that seems fair to me. So I don't get a +1 to this dice roll to see if I go first. And I get a 2. Can you beat a 2?
I can just.
You can. Right, I'm going to try and steal from you.
Stealing's bad.
Stealing's bad, kid. Particularly don't do it in front of policemen.
No, don't.
No. So try and roll a 6. No. So the Black Legion, perhaps they baited the 13th forward. Perhaps it's a trap. Let's find out in Chaos Space Marines. Turn 1. Here we are after the movement phase for the Black Legion. Remember, this is narrative, so you can drop in first turn wherever you want, and you can spend multiple stratagems in the same turn. And so the Warp Talons and the Raptors have dropped in here, along with the Sorcerer and Terminator armor, 9 inches away from my line. And Chewie's plan, quite naturally, is to try and tie up some of the shooting units in the castle back here, so it prevents them from shooting, getting that charge off. Remember, he's got warp time, this guy. So in the Cyclic Phase, one of these units could move forward again. Very easily be able to type some of my squads back here. And then most of the stuff in the backfield is advanced a little bit. There's a Chaos Lord. One of the characters is here, right? That's a Chaos Lord allowing reroll hit rolls of 1 against these 2 Trilas Predators. Is there a character inside the Land Raider?
No, it's just possessed.
Just possessed. So there's one character there next to them. There's one of your characters here.
Yes.
The Sorcerer. And then there's 2 in this Rhino over here, and everything over here advanced. Spike's coming all the way up. Coming up a long way. Remember, bikes advance a full 6 inches. They don't need to roll. And there's 2 in that one there. So there's 4 characters of your 5 on the table right now. Where's Abbadon?
He's still finishing his tea. And he's waiting to come down at the right moment.
Yeah. It makes tactical sense. If you dropped him on the battlefield right away in your turn 1, then I'd know exactly where your Warlord is. Remember, a point for killing every single character, an extra point for killing the Warlord, and 2 points if a character kills a character. So 4 of your characters are currently on the table. I've got a character here. I've got 3 in that one. Lieutenant Sol Garro, my Warlord, and a Librarian. And I've got 1 Chaplain Snow and the Storm Raven up there. So you know where my characters are. But a big push through the ruins of the Temple City here. Not many targets for the Black Legion. And then an aggressive drop through the warp. And from the skies, let's go on to the Cyclic Phase. Okay, the Sorcerer casting Diabolic Strength on the Raptor Champion. And you need a 6, it's a 5. Did you want to reroll already?
No, not this one.
And then Warp Time?
Yep.
And that's a 9, which means you can pick a unit and it can move again. And so through the power of the Dark Gods, the Warp Talons come busting forward right in front of the Hellblasters and the Predator there. And because they entered play through Deep Strike, Warp Flame Strike comes into effect. Now, normally charging a unit of Hellblasters could be very bad for you, but you don't fire Overwatch on the turn that they arrive from Deep Strike, so they're definitely going to be in there. And you're spending the command point on what?
I'm spending that on the Great Sorcerer, which is an additional psychic power.
Okay, so what's he doing now?
Smiting.
Smiting away, okay. And that passes, that'd be I can't deny it, D3 mortal wounds. For 2 mortal wounds, and I think we figured out it's going to hit this squad here. So 2 of the tactical marines have their brains melted. Now we're on to the shooting phase. Who are these guys?
They're Raptors.
Raptors are firing their bolt guns into the tactical squad, and there's a melter in that squad. Where's that going? At the Pred?
Yeah.
Okay, good luck, sir.
The Predator.
And that's a hit. Strength 8, toughness 7. That doesn't do anything.
Reroll.
You're going to re-roll it?
Still doesn't do
anything. Oh dear, that's another command point, and he lives so far. But I just noticed your sorcerer's got a melter as well.
Yes.
Anyway, got the 4 bolters into the tactical marines.
Yeah. Bolt pistol. Actually, I've got a plasma pistol in there.
Is there?
3, yeah.
Okay.
So 3.
Do you want to overcharge a plasma pistol?
Do you know what?
You are?
No, because it's only a single model.
Yes.
I was tempted because I thought Chaos would do that.
Chaos would do that.
Right, so the purple one is the plasma.
Yep. Everything hits. Nice. And then 4s and 3s. Okay, so that's 2 wounds of 3 up, which I make, and that's going to be a 6 up save, and then a 6 up feel no pain because I'm Iron Hands Chapter Tactics. No, you kill 1 more. Now the Sorcerer firing the melter at the Predator, and that misses as well. Another command point? No. Then the Rhino, even though it advanced using the Black Legion chapter tactic trait thing, fired in, didn't do anything. The Bikers, again, using that trait, their rapid fire weapons becoming assault weapons, fired in at this tactical squad on the right there, killing 1 of them. So some small arms erupting across the lines. Now we're going to the Predators. Where's the first one firing?
Land Raider.
Firing at the Land Raider? Yeah, I would. So 4 las cannons hitting on 3s. And you're re-rolling 1s because you stood next to a captain, not that you needed it. Strength 9, toughness 8. Only 2 wounds.
I'll keep it for now.
Yeah, keep it for now. You've got some more las cannons coming in. Okay, it's -3. Land Raiders have a 2 up save, so I need 5s. And I make 1 fail. 1 d6 damage for 3. Okay, starting off, that's 3 chipped off of it. I think they start off with 16. Is the other one picking on the same target?
Yeah.
Bully.
Yeah. Chaos.
That's exactly what you should be doing, yeah. Re-rolling that 1. So that's 3 hits. That captain, he's not a captain, what
Lord.
is he? He's a Lord.
Yes.
That Lord coming in handy there. 3s to wound. Only 1 wound. No command.
Yeah.
You're tempted now. Nope. Just 1. Just 1. Obviously they haven't charged up their las batteries yet. Can I make a 5? I can't make a 5. Another d6 damage. For 5, so you've already smacked 8 wounds off the Land Raider. Ouch. From the Predators to the Land Raider, the heavy bolter fired in at this unit of Hellblasters down here, doing 1 wound, and now the 4 las cannon shots are firing at my Land Raider Crusader. Of course, Land Raiders can move and fire their heavy weapons without penalty. So 4 more las cannon rounds coming in, hitting on 3s. 3 hits, wounding on 3s. 3 wounds. I've got 8 wounds left. I need to make some of these 5-up saves. I make 1. I'm going to command point 1 because the last thing I want to do is get all 3 of my characters out here in turn 1. I need another 5. No, so 2d6 damage, 8 wounds to get through, and you do it. Land Raiders down. Of course, no first blood in this game, but there's Sol Garro, there's my librarian, there's some Terminators stuck back there. On a 6 it blows. Ooh. Oh no, okay, I spend a second command point to reroll that. It doesn't blow. Right, there's 5 Terminators and 3 characters in there, and as they stumble out on 1s, they will die. And I don't roll any 1s, at least thank the Emperor for small mercies. And Sol Garro's feet hit the battle grid right outside the gates of the Temple City. Stuck back there with his Terminators. Not the best position for him to be in, but he's angry. You blew up his ride. Then we had some charges. We're on to the charge phase. The Raptors declared a charge against this unit here. I did fire Overwatch at you with a combi plasma and killed myself. 9-inch charge on that one last guy. That's a 4.
Icon of Wrath.
Yep. And they are in. They get all the way down there. And then the Warp Talons, you declared a charge against the Hellblasters and the Hellblasters only. But you're easily going to be within an inch of the Predator and you're auto in. Raptors end up there, Warp Talons end up there. Now we're on to the fight phase. Now the reason why Chewie's done this is he's charged weirdly. He got a good 11-inch charge. So in the fight phase, he'll pile into the closest enemy model. So this guy will pile into the Hellblasters. Meaning the Hellblasters have got the Ultramarine chapter tactic, so when I fall back, those Hellblasters will be hitting on 4s instead of 3s. It's a good tactic. Well done. I like it. So we fought with the Raptors first. That last tactical marine was dragged down and no wounds put on the Hellblaster squad there. That's where they've ended up after consolidation. And now we're across to the Warp Talons. Now he's ended up his move within an inch of this Predator. All the attacks are going to go on the Hellblasters, but this Predator will not be able to shoot next turn because there's models within an inch of it. I'll have to move. So great tactical display of tactical brilliance there.
Yes.
It's like you've been fighting a long war for 10,000 years. So how many attacks do these Warp Talons have?
16 in all. 16?
Yes. Not 6?
No, not 6. 16.
Okay. Hitting on?
3s.
Okay.
But with the icon of excess, 5 and 6s are additional attacks.
Are they? So what? Death to the False Emperor on a 5 and 6?
Yes.
With Death to the False Emperor getting 17 hits out of 16 there. That's not bad. Strength 4, toughness 4, wounding on 4s. But you get a reroll because they're all power claws, right?
Yes.
And a power claws AP -2.
-1.
-1? No, they're not. I'm sure they're AP -2. We'll double check. And that's a chunk of wounds. Right, that was 11 wounds at AP -2. So I need 5-up saves on the Hellblasters, and that's not good. I made 1. So that's 1 dead Hellblaster, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that, perfectly efficient. They slaughtered them to a man. And they consolidate forward and end up within an inch of the Devastator squad. So both of these squads will be shut down from shooting. Now the Devastators, the Predator, and these Primaris Marines will fight back. So we pile in 3 inches. The Sergeant's got 2 attacks plus 1 for the chainsword. He hits on 3s. No death to the False Emperor for me. Because the Emperor is not false. He is the real Emperor.
He's dead.
He's not dead. He's just a bit poorly. Force to wound. I do 3 wounds to you. And saving, and you make them all. Brilliant. Now the Predator will hit the Warp Talons. I need 6s. Nope. So there's all that. And now these Primaris Marines will hit the Raptors. 2 attacks each. The Sergeant has 3 attacks. So there's 11 hits going in on 3s. And again, not very good. 6 hits. Strength 4, toughness 4, winning on 4s. 4 wounds. Can I kill a Raptor? Fail 1, please. 3-up saves. You failed 3?
Yeah.
I killed 3 Raptors. Now that's the end of the fight phase. Now we're on to the morale phase, and I have no morale to take because you killed everything you went wheeling into, except for this squad down here, which lost 1 member. So they are going to hold. Now you lost 3 in the Raptors squad. Their leadership 8 +1 is leadership 9 because you get the +1 because you're Black Legion. So even if you roll a 6 plus the 3 you lost is a pass. So you have no morale test to take either. In fact, that's the end of turn 1. So the Black Legion have done a number. They've destroyed my Land Raider. They've destroyed an entire squad of Tactical Marines, an entire squad of Hellblasters. They've put some significant threats in my castle back here, back in my lines, ready for me to counter-attack. I need to deal with them. Meanwhile, the rest of the force is pushing forward, and Abbadon is still in his teleportarium. It's pinging away. So it's time for the 13th to respond. Here we are after the 13th movement phase, and there was surprisingly a lot to think about. And there's 2 characters inside that rhino there, so I need to crack that open. And I figure that could be the Fire Raptor's job. That was the easiest thing to do. And also the Fire Raptor is staying close to the Storm Raven, so if it gets blown up and all the goodness and the Terminators and Chaplain Snow come piling out of it, then I've got a Fire Raptor, a wingman keeping the cargo safe there. So crack open that transport, and the Storm Raven coming up and over because there's far too many las cannons down here. So twin multi-melters in on that Land Raider. I need to take down one of these big guns. The intercessors are moving through the ruins. Fortunately for them, bikes can't go up the 2nd floor of ruins, so they're staying on that floor. And this squad, which has been reduced to 4 men, came forward, but not too far. The reason why I didn't want to put that tactical squad too far forward is because there's a plasma combi plasma in there. And just on the other side of the wall, I've got Brother Captain Sol Garro and a Lieutenant in range of them, so they'll be re-rolling hit rolls of 1, re-rolling wound rolls of 1, and you'll notice I didn't push them too far forward. I did advance both of the tactical squads, and that's because this game is about killing characters, so I need to keep my characters back. I don't want to stick them too far up the table, otherwise they're going to be dead. Plus I want to see where Abbadon rears his ugly head. And talking about sticking characters forward, that sorcerer is a bit far forward. So if I take out these raptors and these warp talons, then I could potentially kill the first character of the game.
Potentially.
Suffer the witch not to live. So the Predator fell back out of combat and the Devastator squad fell back out of combat. They're not shooting this turn. The Hellblasters also fell back out of combat, but with Ultramarines Chapter Tactics, they will be able to fire. They're -1 to hit. So I have got some firing duties here, and I'm pleased that I left this unit of intercessors on the flank because I didn't know what to do with them. And now they're coming around and they're ready to unload a bolt of death into these warp talons. Let's go on to the Psychic Phase. Right, my Librarian's going to cast Smite. Try and kill these off in the Psychic Phase. And that's a 5. Would you like to deny Smite, sir? Are you within 24 inches?
I am just.
Do you want to do that?
No.
Why not?
Because you've got other Gucci.
Okay. I've got Null Zone and Might of Heroes that I could potentially cast. So it's going to do D3 mortal wounds on them. They're the closest thing. And that's 2. I kill them with Mind Bullets. Next thing I want is Might of Heroes, +1 strength, toughness and attack. So I'd like to get Brother Matthews's toughness up because I think something's probably going to be charging him next turn. So Might of Heroes, I need a 6. And that fails. That's the end of Psychic Phase. You could have stopped Smite.
I could. I'm gutted, but never mind.
That's the way the dice roll, I'm afraid. Right, now on to the shooting phase. These intercessors are going to unload into the Warp Talons. I'm going to spend a command point, a stratagem for Ultramarines Chapter Tactics stratagem, and I forgot the name of it. It's called Scions of Gulliman. It's for those that follow the Ultramarines Chapter Tactics, and these guys have got Ultramarines Chapter Tactics, and they're intercessors. So basically I'm re-rolling all hit rolls when I'm targeting these Warp Talons here. So hitting on 3s with my re-roll, and pick up those 2s. Beautiful. Good rate of fire there, guys. Everything hits. Now it's strength 4 versus toughness 4. So I need force to wound. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfectly statistical at AP -1 on your Warp Talon, sir. And you only fail 1. Now we're on to my Dreadnought Honoured Brother Matthias, spending another command point on Wisdom of the Ancients. Basically, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly chapter units within 6 inches of a Dreadnought. Dreadnought's within range of himself. So what I'm doing is the Heavy Flamer is going to hit the Warp Talons under his fist there, and the las cannons are going to fire out at that Land Raider there. I moved, so this is a heavy gun, so I'm hitting on 4s and rerolling 1s. Oh, they both hit anyway. Strength 9 versus Toughness 8. Can I crack your Land Raider? 3s to wound. And I'm going to reroll that 1, spending another command point. And it doesn't convert. So 1 las cannon punches into the armour of the Land Raider. You have a 5-up save, which you make. Damn it. And then the Heavy Flamer hitting the Warp Talons. And it hits them automatically 4 times. And it's Strength 5 versus Toughness 4, so I need 3s to wound. 3 wounds at AP -1, burn. Burn, demon.
Nope.
Demons do not burn. They are demonic, right?
Yes.
I need these guys dead. I need them dead, because then I can fire at your character over there. So far, they're refusing to die. So, on to the Terminators. Stormbolters are rapid fire 24, so I can put the Stormbolters into them. The Cyclone missile launcher dude stays still because it's a heavy gun. And I didn't want to nerf his shots. Now, do I put the missile launchers into the Land Raider or into the Rhino? Or into the Land Raider or into the Rhino? I think I've got to start on that Land Raider. So let's shoot the Land Raider with the missile launchers. Hitting on 3s. They both hit. It's Strength 8 versus Toughness 8. And they both wound. -2. And you make them both. And let's put all the Stormbolter shots into these guys. Because of the Captain Lieutenant giving me rerolls, I managed to put 6 wounds. You've got 6 saves to make on the Warp Talons, or 3 up. And finally a couple of them die. And now on to the Devastators. I have to fire at these Warp Talons, unfortunately. So all 4 missiles are going into these Devastators here. And the bolt gun on the Sergeant. Let's do the bolt gun, which hits and wounds once. 1 3-up save on them, which you make. And now 4 missile launchers. I'm just going to do crack. Let's put big guns into you. 3s to hit. And I'm re-rolling 1s because of the Wisdom of the Ancient things. So everything hits. This is Strength 8, so I'm wounding on 2s and re-rolling 1s because there's a Lieutenant right there. 2s to wound. Everything wounds. AP -3, but you're a demon. You have 5-up demonic saves. And they're gone. They are gone. That's the castle cleaned away. Now I can focus on that sorcerer. Right, the Hellblasters fell back, so it's going to be forced to hit him. I'm not overcharging, obviously. Strength 7, Toughness 4, wounding on 3s. So only 1 wound. 1 5-up invulnerable save. No, right, I've scratched the paintwork. He's got 4 wounds left. Mortis, Pattern, Contempt to Dreadnought, firing everything left at him. This is 8 shots. 3s to hit. And it's Strength 7, so I'm...
Has it got Wisdom of the Ancients 1?
Not on this guy, no. Okay. And it's 3s to wound. But I am re-rolling 1s because Krieger has stood right there. So I get 5 wounds at AP -1, but each does 2 damage. So 5 3-up saves. I've got 4 to get through. You save, you fail 2. That'd be 4 damage. He'll die unless you spend a command point.
Yeah, command point, definitely.
He's still alive on 2 wounds left. Sorcerer living by the skin of his teeth there, because I'd love to put the intercessors into him and the assault cannons from the Storm Raven down into him, but I can't because he's not the closest model and you can only target characters if they're the closest model, so he will live this time. Right, let's fire small arms down into the cultist screen, I think. Not sure. Alright, Storm Raven, everything into Land Raider. They're heavy guns, but Power of the Machine Spirit means I can fire them even though I moved. 2 missiles, therefore, hit on 3s. They both hit. Strength 8 versus Toughness 8. 4s to wound. Nothing. 2 multi-melters then. Hitting on 3s. Oh no. What's that, Chewie?
I was saying we've both had quite bad rounds of shooting.
Yes.
So we're testing each other's skills.
Yeah, we're just warming up. Right, let's put 12 assault cannon rounds into you, hitting on 3s. That's better. That was 9 hits. Strength 6 versus toughness 8. I'm winning on 5s, however. 1, 2, 3. At -1. So 3 up saves. 2 up becomes 3 up. I take a wound off the Land Raider. Oh joy. Running out of guns. So the intercessors, both squads in these ruins, plus the bolt gun weaponry from this tactical squad, fired into the bikers, and I've only put 1 wound on him. But there is a combi plasma and a plasma in that squad, which I'm going to overcharge because I am in range of my captain and lieutenant. So here's the plasma hitting on 3s, and here's the combi hitting on 3s and re-rolling 1s. Oh no. So the sergeant's dead. This is strength 8 now versus toughness 5, so I'm winning on 3s and re-rolling 1s, so I only get 2 wounds at -3, sir. So 2 6-up saves. Yep. And I killed 2 bikes.
Kill 1 bike and 1 on 1 wound.
2 wounds each.
Yep. So
2 bikes.
2 bikes. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I hoped to have killed a lot more with the bolter weaponry and lose my sergeant. Right, last thing left to fire is the Fire Raptor. So the Twin Avenger bolt cannon strength 6, so I'd be wounding that Rhino on 5s, and the quad bolt was a strength 5, so I'm wounding that Rhino on 5s with either of those weapons. So what I'll do is put the quad bolters and the missiles into the Rhino, and I'll put the Twin Avenger cannon into the bikers, because being strength 6, it'll wound these guys on 3s, and it's 10 shots. And I have power of the machine spirit, so I am hitting on 3s. And that's 9 out of 10 hits. This is brilliant. That was good rate of firepower. Well done, pilot. Strength 6 versus toughness 5, so 3s to wound. And it's AP -2, and each does 2 damage. So you've got that many 5-up saves. Yes, touch away. 5-up saves, 2 damage a pop. Oh, thank you for touching my dice.
They're gone.
They're gone. 2 damage each. Just fire from the sky there. Right.
I won't touch your dice again.
2 twin Hellstrike missiles, because this guy can carry 4 las cannons on him. But instead he's got 2 twin Hellstrike missiles going into that Rhino, 3s to hit. And everything misses. And that was the strength 8, 3 damage a pop. That was my chance for cutting open that Rhino. Now I'm just going to have to put 24 heavy bolters into you. The heavy bolter rounds managed to wound 7 times, 7 4-up saves. And you only fell 3. So that Rhino has 7 wounds left. Those missiles should have really found their mark there. Never mind. And that's the end of the shooting phase. These 2 squads advancing here. I tried to advance them up far enough to get the melters in melter range of that Land Raider there. Only 12 inches, but I'm too far away to actually shoot him. So that's the end of my turn. No morale to take. I lost a guy here. And no morale for you to take because everything I shot at I killed. However, your big guns, which never tire, are still uninjured. Your Tri-Las Predators are fine. Your Land Raider is still firing for effect, is absolutely fine. More badness could drop in here and then get warped time forward from that Sorcerer one more time. However, the one thing that can drop in is Abbadon. Mm-hmm. And if you want to put Abbadon that close to my gun line and shut down this gun line again, I'd be quite happy with that, to be honest, because there is a lot of gun here and not a lot of cover. And Sol Garro is waiting over there, just waiting, just itching with that relic blade in his hand.
Cowardly behind his men.
He's waiting for the despoiler to show his hand so he can then sound the charge.
You go for it.
So some interesting decisions for the Black Legion, for Abbadon to make here. Let's go on to Chaos Space Marines, turn 2. And so here we are after the Black Legion movement phase in turn 2. The first turn was a case of just feeling each other out. Minimal casualties taken on either side. And as we can see, the cultists and the Rhino with the Hounds of Abbadon.
Yes.
Are busting out of the terrain, trying to get under the wings of the Fire Raptor and the Storm Raven. Meanwhile, over here, the Possessed come piling out of the Land Raider, and it looks like they've left a corridor for the Mauler Fiend. I guess I know where he's going, because the Sorcerer has also jumped over from left to right there, probably going to warp time this guy. And then there's going to be a pain train coming down into the lines of the 13th. Meanwhile, over here, the Cultists advancing.
Yes.
Cultists advancing. And a unit of, these are just normal Chaos Space Marines piled out of that Rhino along before the Rhino busts forward. Now, where is the Batman? Where's Abbadon?
It's not his time yet.
It's not his time yet. This feeling out process continues, huh? You're waiting for me to blink first?
Yes.
Interesting. Let's go on to the Psychic Phase. What are we doing with the Sorcerer now?
Warp time.
Yeah, I see this coming with bells on it. And that's a fail.
I'm going to re-roll.
Okay. And that's a pass. And I'm going to try and deny that because I don't want him warp timing forward. So I'm going to need a 9. I don't deny you. Unless a 50-50 chance. I've got a load of command points. Let's re-roll that one. I deny the witch. After denying that power, the sorcerer trying to cast Smite. And that's an 11. And it will do D6 damage to the closest enemy unit, which is a Storm Raven. 3. The pilot suffers a major headache. After the Psychic Phase, on to the Shooting Phase. So this tactical squad, there's 2 melters there. They're going to pick on the Predator. And then the rest of the shots, the bolt gun shots, going into the Devastators. We're doing the melters first?
Yes.
Melters first. And they both hit. This will be wounding on 3s. 1 wound, no armor save, D6 damage. For 2 damage. Still not warmed up these guns yet. And now we have bolt rounds coming in on the Devastators. Fortunately, they're in cover. You are in rapid fire range, though, or have these got pistols?
They're pistols.
You've got pistols. Extra attacks with the chainsaws. Okay. 3s to hit. That was really bad. And 4s to wound. And only 1 wound. I have a 2-up save because I'm in cover. And I fail. 6 up. Iron Hands? No. Okay, you do kill 1. Then the combi bot had to go at the Devastators doing nothing. Now we have the Terminator.
Terminator Sorcerer, yeah.
Firing up. There'll be a 4 to hit.
It would be 5 because he's on fire, isn't he?
Well, you're hit on 3s. -1 is a 4. So you miss anyway.
No.
But it was worth the shot. Now trying to take this Storm Raven down. The Predator pivoting around. Firing up. -1 to hit because I'm a flyer. 2 hits. Winning on 3s. 2 wounds. It's -3. I need 2 6s. 11 wounds left on that flyer. And I make 1 6. D6 damage, sir. For the fat 6, 5 wounds left on the Storm Raven. Are you doing the same with the other one?
Yep.
Oh, no. And 2 hits again. 3s to wound. 1 wound.
Reroll that one.
Yeah.
No.
Only 1 wound. 5 wounds left. I need a 6. No. D6 damage. 4. It has 1 wound left. So the Storm Raven is steaming and leaking fuel, fire coming out of its jet engines, and the Land Raider looks up with its twin las and is going to pull the trigger on them. And hits twice. And will wound on 3s. And 1 gets through. If I can make a 6, I keep this Storm Raven in the air. For the Emperor? No. We have a Storm Raven down. We have a Storm Raven down. Does it blow up? No, it does not. 5 Terminators, a Dreadnought and Snow. So 7 passengers. I'll lose them on 1s. And I'm going to re-roll that one for a command point. And I don't lose any as they come clambering out of the burning wreckage. They're going to be behind, though. Now, fortunately, everyone was able to get out of the Storm Raven. We placed the models, then removed the base, staying an inch away from enemy models. The rule is within 3 inches. If it was wholly within 3 inches, I wouldn't have been able to squeeze everyone out. But because it's within 3 inches, everyone got out within 3 inches of that base. But it's a tight fit. And now Chaplain Snow and that iron-clad dreadnought are trapped there between the gates of the Temple City. So now we're on to the charge phase. You've got some interesting decisions, because clearly the Possessed were going to go flying into some of these tactical Marines. But instead, do they want to take on an ironclad dreadnought and some assault Terminators? Probably not. They got 2 wings each, right?
Yes.
And those hammers do a flat 3 damage. And there's a chaplain there, so I'll be re-rolling all hit rolls with them. Interesting decisions for you. Do you know what you're doing?
I've got an idea.
You've got an idea. It always helps to have an idea.
Otherwise, I'll just be standing here.
Where are we starting?
Right. Mauler Fiend is going to attack both the Terminators and the Dreadnought.
Right, let's do some Overwatch then, because that Ironclad Dreadnought has a heavy flamer and a melter.
Yep.
So let's do that now. So
okay.
here's the auto hits with a heavy flamer. That's 6, and I wish that was the melter. 5s to wound. No wounds at all. And now I do the melter, and I don't roll a 6. No. So he's going to be in automatically because you're less than 2 inches away. So this is going to sting. Right, any more charges?
Yeah, I'm actually going to do it.
Right.
Because they've still got 5 up saves. I know they've got 3, but potentially.
Yeah.
They're going to go in.
Right.
He's going to go into that squad there.
Okay. Let's do some Overwatch. So the Mauler Fiend charging this squad here. There's a combi melter in that squad. And I rolled a 6. So now I just need a 3 to wound him. I get a wound. 5 up demon save? No. And this will do d6 damage as he comes charging in. For 4 damage. So the Mauler Fiend has 8 wounds left, which is interesting. Korn's number. And he's just over 8 inches away. So he needs an 8-inch charge. And that's a 4. You going to reroll?
Yep.
And that's a 6. So he takes 4 wounds for his troubles. Clearly clipping off a bit of his kneecap with that melt around there, and it slows him down. And then the Possessed, how far do they manage to go? Oh, they're happy. They go a long way. So the Possessed charge through the gates of the Temple City and engage the Terminators. Mauler Fiend engaging both of these units. Then across on this side of the battle grid, this unit of Traitor Marines makes it in to the Intercessors. Again, he's charged weirdly. He rolled a high dice roll. So this guy's all the way out here. And the reason for that is because when he piles in, he can pile into the Devastators. Didn't declare a charge against the Devastators, but he will be able to pile into the closest enemy unit, which is the Devastators, which stops them shooting next turn. Again, nice tactics. Right, where are we starting, Chewie?
Mauler Fiend.
Mauler Fiend, what you doing?
Lash of Tendrils against the Terminators.
That's good, because they're 2 wounds each, right? So if any of these get through, those are dead Terminators.
And Mauler Fists against the Ironclad.
Nice.
And I'm doing Demon Forge.
Demon Forge strategy. 1 command point, reroll a hit and reroll a wound?
Yes.
It's a brilliant one. It's one of the best ones in the Chaos Space Marine decks, I think. All right, so how many Lash of Tendrils attacks do you have?
6.
6. Hitting on
4s.
4s with the reroll. I saw you take out an entire unit of Possessed once with one of these things.
Yes, it was good.
When we did our 4-way. Only 3 hits.
Yeah.
Strength?
User, so strength 6.
Okay, 3s to wound with the reroll. So all 3 get through it, minus something AP,
-2.
but 2 damage each. So I need my 3 up and vulnerable saves, holding my shields high. Any fails will kill a Terminator. 2 die. Actually, I've got Iron Hands Chapter Tactics. So 1 gets through on 1 Terminator, 6s, and 1 dies, and then 6s on the other one. 2 die. You do kill 2 Terminators, only leaving 3 left, and then the Mauler Fist smashing against the Ironclad. And 3 hits with the reroll. 3 hits still. Strength times 2.
Yes, so 12.
On toughness 8.
Reroll.
And the reroll. 1 wound. Just 1 wound. Oh no, 2 wounds.
2
what am I
wounds,
doing? 2 wounds. At minus what?
-3.
-3. So I need 6s. I fail him. How much damage?
3 damage each.
3 damage each. Ironclad start off with 8 wounds. He's down to 2 left. He isn't dead yet. Onto the Possessed. Okay, so Possessed have a random number of attacks. This time they got 20, hitting on
3s.
3s. Nice.
With
Any rerolls to this?
no, but they get Death to the Force Emperor.
Do they?
Yes.
Nice. There's 1 6.
It's just 1. Yeah, doesn't matter.
15 hits at strength 5, winning on 3s. Any rerolls to this?
No.
No. Right, AP minus
2.
AP minus 2. How many damage?
1 damage.
AP minus 2. So 3 up in vulnerable saves. Storm shields held high. And that was pretty good. I only failed 2. 1 damage each. So 2 6-ups, which I fail. So they do drag another Terminator down with them, but you didn't kill both of those units there. Interesting. Right, from those assaults out there, way out into the wasteland to this traitor squad of Chaos Space Marines that are attacking. So we've got 15 normal attacks coming in. And you've got an icon here for excess, right?
Yes.
So Death to the False Emperor triggers on a what?
5 and 6.
Nice. Lots of hits, strength 4, toughness 4, wounding on 4s against the Intercessors. And that's pretty good. And you've got Power Fist in there on the Sergeant, right?
Yeah, we'll do, yeah.
So a number of saves to make, 3 up. I fail 3 of them, 4 of them. So that actually kills 2 Intercessors outright dead, leaving me with 3 left. And then the Fist strikes from your champion. Hitting on 4s though, because it's a Power Fist. And they both miss. You do kill 2 Intercessors. Then the Intercessors piled in, along with the Devastator Squad. They're striking back against these traitors and causing no wounds. Then I'm across here. Now, Chaplain Snow couldn't pile in, couldn't do a heroic intervention during the start of the charge phase, end of the charge phase, because he couldn't fit. So I've only got 2 Terminators striking back against those possessed there. The Sergeant does have an extra attack, so that's 3 attacks. And I spent a command point on Death to the Traitors, which basically gives me any 6s to hit, I generate extra attacks. Now I've only got 5 attacks. With the Chaplain, there is a reroll there. So 3s to hit, and then I reroll fails, and then it'll be -1, because you do your rerolls first. So that's 5 hits. That 6 becomes an extra attack with Death to the Traitors. 6 hits out of 5, not bad. Strength 8 versus Toughness 4. I'm winning on 2s. And everything wounds. Possess of a 5-up invulnerable save, but these will kill them utterly. And you make 2 of them. That's not bad, but 4 of them get dragged down. Chaplain Snow bellowing in their ears. Death to the traitors. From the possessed to the ironclad dreadnought, spending that command point on Death to the traitors again. It affects any Astartes units, so long as I'm fighting heretic Astartes. So let's do that again. Now I'm going to use the seismic hammer, so I'm going to be hitting on 4s, but this does a flat 5 damage if I get any hits through. So 4s to hit, and re-rolling any failed. Now this is the thing. You subtract 1 to hit when fighting with this weapon. Now I would normally get re-rolls to failed hits, but those are hits. And then I apply the re-roll, and then I subtract the -1. So the ironclad dreadnought re-rolls attacks before re-rolls effect before modifiers. So in fact the ironclad misses every single one of those attacks despite the re-roll there from Chaplain Snow.
Despite some massive Mauler Fiend as well.
Yeah, I guess he's got 2 wounds left. You came clanging into him, and all of his attacks go wide. And that's the end of the assault phase. And then looking across the battle grid, I don't have any morale to take, but you did lose 4 possessed. Are they fearless? Do they have morale?
I'm going to do Fury of Khorne, because they're Khorne-based possessed. They're going to fight again.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh no. Fury of Khorne spent, that's a 3 command point stratagem for these possessed to fight again. A random number of attacks. You rolled the big 6 this time. So this is 16 attacks coming in. Hitting on 3s and Death to the False Emperor. Look at all those 6s. Oh no. Is that 6 6s?
7 6s.
7 6s. Because of Death to the False Emperor, getting 16 out of 16 hits there. Winning on 3s.
Yeah.
And that's good. And it's AP minus, you get 15 wounds through. That's very good.
AP -2.
Picked up 1 dice. 3-up save. Right, those Terminators survived last time, but this time not. Actually, I rolled well. I only failed 4.
But that's, oh.
So 4 6-up Iron Hands chapter tactic saves to keep these Terminators alive. And 1 is left on 1 wound left. Now we go on to the morale phase. Right, the possessed to leadership 8 +1 for Black Legion. So the leadership 9 don't roll a 6, you're fine. And then my Terminator uses the Chaplain's leadership, which is leadership 9. And that's fine. 4 + 2 is 6. We managed to hold each other up and swing at each other. But you didn't kill everything in the gateway there, but you nearly managed to kill everything in the gateway. The Black Legion continue to press their way forward. They have taken out Chaplain Snow's Storm Raven, and now all my characters, their feet are on the battle grid. Let's go on to the 13th, turn 2. Here we are after the Imperium's movement phase, and I'm sorry to say that Chaplain Snow and that last Terminator had to break out of combat. He's not a coward. There's tactics going on here with that last Terminator. There's 2 characters in there. Still want to crack that open. The Intercessors got all their guns ready. Now, the reason why he's broken out of combat is because of all of this. So, the Hellblasters, measuring up very carefully, 4 of them are in rapid fire range of those possessed there, which have 2 wounds each. And if I overcharge my plasma guns and they fail their saves, then I'll just be dropping them like it's hot. And I made sure I'm within 6-inch range of Sol Garro, 6-inch range of the Lieutenant, keeping the Lieutenant back here, because after measuring up and pushing all the way forward, I realised there's an Abbadon-shaped gap in my backlines. So I've closed off that Abbadon-shaped gap. I don't want him. You never want Abbadon coming running up your back line. It could be very painful. And then this Melter Squad, a Melter Squad of Tactical Marines, this one jumping down, are now in Melter range of that injured Mauler Fiend. And the Terminators coming through the gap. So 1 unit of Terminators breaking out of combat. And any of these possessed that survive, the next squad will go wheeling into combat there. The Ironclad staying locked up with that Mauler Fiend. He's exactly where he wants to be. So that's the tactics. Sol Garro is a wily fox. He's saying, no, don't just stand there swinging and dying. Snow, draw back. Let us fill them with plasma. Let us fill them with bolt gun shells and break them down. And then maybe next turn, Snow can go wheeling in and do some damage against... There's the Hounds of Abbadon in there, right?
Yes.
So yeah, loads of Khorne Berserkers are probably going to charge out and hurt him. He's going to hurt him, but not kill him, because he's Chaplain Snow.
Well, we'll see.
He can take it.
Yeah, I'm sure he can.
The Fire Raptor crisscrossing across the sky. The pilot taking orders from Sol Garro saying, take the head from the snake. Find these characters and take them out. And there's that Sorcerer, and the Fire Raptor is closest to him. And I mean to put every single round into him and make his body dance like a meat puppet. Meanwhile, over here, the Intercessors broke out of combat with the Traitor Marines. The Devastators broke out of combat with the Traitor Marines. Brother Matthias, the Dreadnought, is moving in for the kill. Lieutenant Krieger was there. He snuck around here. The reason why Krieger's now there is because he's in 6-inch range of all of these squads. There's still the 2nd Devastator squad there. So he can still help them for re-rolling wound rolls of 1. So I should put some pressure on this side. I should put some pressure in the middle. I should get the first point for killing that character. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Lots of shouldas, lots of couldas, lots of wouldas. But before we begin, we need to start off with a Cyclic Phase. He needs to cast Null Zone, and it needs an 8 to pass. And it doesn't pass. That would have denied any invulnerable saves. I'm not going to re-roll it. Next one is Might of Heroes. So I'm going to put Might of Heroes on that Ironclad Dreadnought. And that passes. That's a 10. You need 11 to deny. And you pass it. So Cyclic Phase is a bust. Black Sorcery ripples across the battle grid. Let's go on to the shooting phase. The Intercessors fired at these... Space Marines here, these Chaos Space Marines did nothing. Then I spent a command point on Wisdom of the Ancients one more time. Brother Matthias giving his wisdom to everyone within 6 inches. This is re-roll hit rolls of 1. I'm also within 6-inch range of Krieger. So what I'm going to do is put the las cannons in at that... No, I'm going to pick on a Predator. Let's pick on one of the Predators down there, and then the Heavy Flamer hitting these Chaos Space Marines. So las cannons into the Predators. Hitting on 3s and wounding on 3s. And they both wound. 2 6-up saves on the Predators. Nope. You failed them both. So this will do 2d6 damage. And that's 6 damage on that first one on the right. Then the Flamer washes into the Traitors. Auto hitting this many times. 6 times. Beautiful thing. Strength 5 versus Toughness 4. So I'm winning on 3s. And I'm re-rolling 1s because Krieger is shouting. That's 5 wounds at AP -1. And I burned 3 of them to a crisp. Now onto the Devastator squad down here. Now unfortunately, only 3 of them can see that Predator because there's lots of stuff in the way. I wanted to fire the last one at the Land Raider, but I can't see that either. The only thing I can see is that Forge Fiend stood up there. So let's fire 1 at him, hitting on a 3. And re-rolling 1s because of Wisdom of the Ancients. and it misses. And then the other 3 shots coming this way, one of them will hit on a 2 because of the signum, and the other ones will hit on 3s. And they all hit, and it's strength 8 versus toughness 7. I'm winning on 3s. 2 wounds at -2, so 2 5-up saves, and you fail both of them. So 2d6 damage. Am I going to take out the first predator? Yes, I am. Does it explode? No, that would have been hilarious because you've got your captain next to it and he would have taken wounds. Never mind. But at least one of them gets reduced to slag. Now I have a predator and this dreadnought. Let's keep firing. Let's keep firing at those predators over there. So I'll start off with my predator. 2 las cannons and auto cannon going into that predator. Here's the 2 las cannons, 3s to hit. And I will be wounding on 3s. And I'm re-rolling 1s because I'm stood next to a lieutenant. 2 wounds, -3, 2 6-up saves. Nope, and 2d6 damage on that predator for 4. Command point. Any more shots going in? No, you can just take 4. And then the predator autocannon has 2d3 shots each, which is 5 shots. That's not bad. And I'm hitting on 3s. And I'm re-rolling 1s because of Wisdom of the Ancients. 4 hits. And it's strength 7, so I'm wounding on 4s and re-rolling 1s because of Krieger. So 3 wounds. It's only AP -1, but that does a flat 3 damage. That predator's on 4 wounds left. It's steaming, it's smoking, it's not out of it yet. But now I have this mortis pattern dreadnought with his twin autocannons. This is 8 shots raining in at him. 3s to hit. I'm re-rolling 1s, but I don't get any 1s. And this is strength 7 versus toughness 7. So I'm going to need 4s to wound and re-rolling 1s because of Krieger. Okay, so 4 wounds, -1, but each does 2 damage. And you fail 3 of them. That's 6 damage. Does that one go up? No. So both predators taken out this time. This is because I didn't have to waste lots and lots of shots in and everything in front of me. My castle erupting, firepower across through the wastelands, taking out those 2 predators there. Still got the Land Raider. He's still angry. He can still shoot. He can still bring a lot of fire to bear. And this Mauler Fiend. Let's take this Mauler Fiend down. There's 2 melters in this squad firing at it. Only 1 hits. I'm going to need a 3 to wound. That's a wound. 5-up demon save. Nope. D6 damage. For 5 damage. It was on 8.
It's 3. Oh, it's on 9.
Yeah, because you recovered a wound. And then this squad here. Oh, and the bolt guns will go into them. Can we do them in a minute off camera?
Yes.
And then the other 2 melters. Let's see if we can take out this thing. And then I'll see if any bolt guns can hit them. So 3s to hit and 3s to wound. 1 wound. 1 more demon save. And you make that one. How many wounds has he got left?
4.
4 left. Right, let's do the remaining bolter fire from these tactical squads into these cultists. Only managed to kill 2 of those cultists with those bolt guns. Right, now onto these hell blasters, which will be overcharging their plasma guns. Firing at these possessed here. 4 of them are in rapid fire range because it's a very long range gun. So I'm hitting on 3s. And I'm doing these separately in case I get any gets hots. Hitting on 3s. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling that 1. And hitting on a 3. So that's an impressive array of hits. How many did I get? 7? Yeah. Beautiful. This gets me up to strength 8. Your toughness 4. Yeah. So I'm wounding on 2s and I'm re-rolling 1s because there's a lieutenant there. So winning on 2s, re-rolling 1s. And this is the thing, if I'd have got null zone off from my librarian, you wouldn't have had any saves at all. But currently you have 7 5-up demon saves to make and you fail 5. So 5 of them just get melted because each of these is 2 damage each. Because I overcharge. So beautiful death. Well done, Snow. Falling back out of combat there, allowing Sol Garro to bring up the firing squad and unloading superheated plasma shells into them. There's 1 possessed left, so now the Terminators are going to open fire with their Stormbolters. The Cyclone missile launcher will go at the Mauler Fiend. I'll do it at the Mauler Fiend. Here's all the Stormbolt shots. Rapid fire 2. So lots and lots of shots. And I'm re-rolling 1s. And so that's an oppressive array of hits. Now it's strength 4 versus toughness 4. And I'm re-rolling 1s. So in the end, I managed to get 6 wounds. 6 wounds, 6 3-up saves. And he takes a wound. He's still alive, which leaves my Terminators quite happy because they want to charge him. And then the Cyclone missile launcher into this Mauler Fiend here. Hits twice. And re-rolling 1s to wound because there's a lieutenant right there. And that was 2 1s. So let's just get these wounds in, guys. Come on. No. Oh, is it toughness 8 or toughness 7?
7.
7. They both wound. 2 wounds. AP -2. 2 5-up saves. You make 1, you fail 1. How many wounds has it got left?
4.
4 left. D6 damage. Does this missile manage to find a critical spot? No, it doesn't. Just 1 wound. It's just a flesh wound. Just bounced off the surface. Didn't go in. Then from outside of the gates of the Temple City, inside to the ruins of the Temple City, there was a Chaos Cultist squad there, but these 2 squads of intercessors made short work of them. And then the tactical marines fired and threw a grenade in at that rhino, which was already a bit injured. It's down to 4 wounds left. Full of corn berserkers. They're getting angrier and angrier. And now back out into the wasteland. The last thing left to fire. Fire up the gunship. And I'm going to fire everything at that Chaos Sorcerer. I imagine as it flew past, it just did a strafing run, unloading everything. 10 shots with that Twin Avenger bolt cannon coming out the front, hitting on 3s. And that was 5 misses. So only 5 hits, but it is strength 6. So I'm wounding on 3s. Only 2 wounds. AP -2, 2 damage each. 1 minute, you failed both of the Terminator saves. You make 1, fail 1. He's alive on 2 wounds. 1 wound left.
Yeah.
These quad bolters on the side are 12 shots each. So this is 24 shots as it dipped its wings right and left, hitting on 3s. Excellent shooting there. Only 2 shots missed. Strength 5, toughness 4, wounding on 3s. So Chewie, you've got 15 saves to make it. AP -1. Any 2s?
Gone.
He's gone. Suffer not the witch to live. And that is the first point for the 13th. It's 1 point for the Space Marines. Back to the gates of the Temple City. The Terminators make their charge into that last possessed. Sol Garro is going to try and join them as well. This will be an 8-inch charge for him. And he's in as well. Now it might not be the wisest thing putting my HQ that close to the centre of the table, but I'm trying to bait him out, this Abbadon character. I know in turn 3 he's got to come out anyway, but I'm trying to bring him right there. That's exactly where I want him to be.
Well, he may not be there. But
that's the end of my charge phase. Now, let's fight. Sol Garro will swing his Relic Blade. He hits on 2s. And it's strength 6. And he doesn't wound.
that's really impressive, Sol Garro.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so let's...
Tell him how it's done, Sol Garro. Oh, no, you haven't.
No, 1 minute. You just... Okay, I'm going to do the sword. Do the sword from the sergeant. He hits twice. And he'll wound on 4s. He wounds. 5-up demon save when you're possessed.
Does it?
Does
6.
it? Right. Let's do lots of power fists. Power fists coming in. Don't whiff. Re-rolling 1s. Okay, that's much better. And then I'm wounding on 2s against this possessed. Okay, you need to make 6 invulnerable saves to keep him alive.
Easy.
Surely not.
Easy,
no, he goes down.
Hop.
Right, next fight. Oh,
I'm going to interrupt.
you're going to interrupt. You're
More
going to
the fiend against your ironclad,
Okay.
because he's still at full effect.
Yes. And you spent another command point on Demon Forge. You absolutely want to guarantee this kill. Puts you down to 2 command points left. I've got 5 left. Mauler fists coming in on the Ironclad, hitting on 4s. Only 1 hit so far. And that's 3 hits with Demon Forge. Winning on 3s. And re-rolling to wound. 1 wound so far. 2 wounds, and it's AP -3.
Yeah.
So I need 2 6s. I've got 2 wounds left. Basically, if I fail, he's dead. 3 wounds get through. I've got 2 wounds left. 2 6-up Iron Hands Chapter Tactic saves. The Ironclad falls. Does the Ironclad blow up? No, he does not. Then the Maul consolidated after taking out that Ironclad Dreadnought, and then we forgot about this combat here, and Chewie, being a generous soul, decided you'd let me doing it?
Yeah.
Let me doing it. We've done the Melter and the Overwatch now. Let's see if Matthias gets in. Matthias does easily get in. He comes charging in, and now we'll do his attacks. He hits on 3s, and he will hurt you on 2s. And you need 6s, otherwise 3 guys get smushed. 3 guys get smushed. Then the Black Legion pile in and fight back. What's
Power
this?
Fist.
Power Fist. No hits.
And then normal guys, 1 hit. No wounds.
No wounds, because you left the 2 Melters alive and the Power Fist alive. That's the end of everything. I've got no morale to tests to take over here, but I think you lost 6 in this squad this turn. You are leadership 9 because of Black Legion, so 6 + 3 is 9. You've got your sergeant there. They hold because they're Black Legion, otherwise one of them would be fleeing in terror from the might of Brother Matthias. But that locks them up. Those 2 Melters there aren't going to come charging in and stop me shooting again. However, this Rhino can easily come in and charge something and stop me shooting again. But at the end of turn 2 for the 13th, that was a pretty effective turn. Yeah. I've killed both of those Predators that were worrying me in the backfield, and I have taken a point by wiping out that Sorcerer there. So now the only Psychic Might left on the table will be the Psychic Might of the 13th. However, you got the Land Raider and the Mauler Fiends still at full effect. 2 Mauler Fiends still at full effect. And there's a unit of Khorne Berserkers, the Hounds of Abbadon, inside that Rhino there. And talking about Abbadon, it's turn 3. So he must show his hand in this turn. Here we are after turn 3, movement phase for the Black Legion. These traitors staying in combat there. The Rhino pushing forward as I thought it might, to try and lock up one of these units of Devastators or the Predator and stop it shooting next turn. Over here, the Chaos Lord has broken free from the wrecks of the 2 Predators along with his squad, making his way up the table. Is there any Melters in that squad?
Only Plasmas. The Lord's got a Melter.
So the Lord's got a Melter, so that Fire Raptor could be in trouble. And then in the middle of the battle grid, things got very juicy very quickly. Both of the Mauler Fiends come charging in. There's Sol Garro, and there's Tactical Squads and Terminators here. But where is Abbadon? Well, Abbadon was inside the Temple City all along. There's a lieutenant out here who looks a bit stranded, who looks a bit isolated. And through the gaps in the broken cathedral, we can see Abbadon and 5 Terminators ready to charge through. And then there's the other 5 Terminators out there. Why are the Terminators all the way over here, Chewie?
Because they're going to have to come and get me. Basically.
I'll have to come and get you. Yeah, you didn't want to drop them in this pile over here, because then again, all my shooty would have had a go at his Terminators, had a go at Abbadon before he made it into combat, or as he made it into combat. This way, yeah, I've got to kill characters. So there's a character there, Abbadon is here, along with his Terminator bodyguards. And the Hounds of Abbadon have come spilling out of that Rhino there, along with the Apostle. And there's another character here.
2 characters, yeah. Apostle and the Champion.
Apostle and the Champion came spilling out. And they're looking at taking down Chaplain Snow and the last of the Terminators. Very disciplined for Khorne Berserkers. They're staying an inch away from this squad and an inch away from that squad as they came piling out. But it's 1 point to me. If you take out Snow, that'll be 1 point each. And then I've got to somehow get to these 1, 2, 3 characters on this side of the ruins. It depends if you manage to come piling into my lieutenant and kill him. But you can just charge with the Terminators and sacrifice some Terminators, because the shots coming in against those Terminators will be brutal. But if you kill my lieutenant and lose some Terminators, ultimately you're getting another point. It'll be, if you kill the lieutenant and my chaplain, it'll be 2 points to 1. and then I'll have to respond to this aggression. So I think what we're finding out is having these victory conditions, killing characters, has made it a very interesting game. It's very, you've got to think about where you put stuff and what you're doing with your stuff because of the counter charge. So sticking the Terminators back here and lining up for a counter charge is a good tactic. Right, there's no psychic for you because I killed your witch.
You did, well done.
So let's go into the shooting phase for the Black Legion. Right, starting off the shooting phase, you're picking on the Lieutenant with Abbadon's Terminators here. Because you had to stay 9 inches away from that one, it pushed them back. But the Melter, I forget where he is, can see through, getting down on the table, and see the Lieutenant. So 1 Melter shot to take out my Lieutenant, hitting on a 3. And it hits, wounding on a 2. And it wounds. Now, Lieutenants don't have an invulnerable save. This will do D6 damage for 3. He's got 1 wound left.
No, command roll, risk it.
You've only got 2 left.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh!
For 3. And Enhanced Chapter Tactics. Okay, my Lieutenant's on 1 wound left. He's still alive for now. After the Melter shot my Lieutenant, then we had the remaining fire from here. And the Khorne Berserkers going into the squad of 3 tactical marines here. They're now dead. The Melter from this squad is hitting this Terminator, the last Terminator. And it hits. It'll wound on a 2. And it wounds. I have a 3-up invulnerable save. And if I fail this, Chaplain Snow will be left on his own. 3-up invuln. And make it. Phew. Then the Rhino fired in as well, causing no wounds. So at least Snow has a bodyguard with him to take on this massed attack by these crazed Khorne Berserkers. Next shots, where are we firing?
Land Raider.
Yes.
Fire Raptor.
All 4 las cannons. What about the heavy bolters?
Heavy bolters do the same.
Okay, alright, nice. Las cannons hitting on 4s because I'm a flyer. 1 hit. And it wounds. I need a 6-up save. Which I make, oh no. And then 6 heavy bolters hitting on 4s. And that's pretty good, 5 hits. Wounding on 5, so -1. 2 wounds,
Yep.
2 4-up saves. And I make 1. It only takes a wound as it dodges right and dodges left after taking that librarian down, that sorcerer down. What an awesome pilot. What else?
Melter.
Yes.
At the...
Forced to hit. Oh, he's a captain or a lord. He hits on a 3 normally. So rerolling 1s. So it hits. Wounds on a 3. Yep, they are toughness 7. So that's a wound. No save. So just D6 damage, sir.
2d6 because he's within 6.
Is he? Okay. That's 5 more. Taking 6 wounds off of it in total. Then the Black Legion filled the sky with bolter fire, doing no damage to the Fire Raptor. And now we have the overcharge plasma shots filling the skies. And re-rolling that 1. Okay, that's pretty good. That was 3 hits. Strength 8 now, toughness 7. And 2 wounds. 2 6-up saves, which I failed both of them, taking 4 wounds off the Raptor, putting it down to 6 left. That was an impressive volley of fire. The Fire Raptor definitely flew through a storm of metal and stubber fire there, because the cultists also lent their weight and took a wound off of it. And then these guys down here, these cultists unloaded at that tactical squad, killing a marine as well. So the cultists getting angry. I poked the hornet's nest. There's cultists all over the place. Terminators right and left of me. Khorne Berserkers all over the place. That's the end of the shooting phase. Wounding the Fire Raptor and taking this lieutenant down to 1 wound left. Now this is where we end up after the charge phase. Charges erupting across the line. We have the Rhino ramming the Predator and this Devastator squad here. I put a wound on, managed to get a hit with a las cannon and did 1 wound on the Rhino before he speared these 2 units here. The cultists got in with the Hell Blasters. I killed the cultist on the way in. These cultists and the Mauler Fiends have come piling through the gap. I killed a cultist on Overwatch. Put this thing down to 3 wounds, which is interesting. A melter shot did hit him. He was already injured. That means he's only got 2 attacks now. He's on his lowest profile. Strength 4, 2 attacks. But the other Mauler Fiend is completely uninjured. So there is a big fight in the middle. More and more combat. And then over here, The Hounds of Abbadon charge Chaplain Snow and the last Terminator. Now, interestingly enough, Chewie didn't put a character on a character, right?
Yeah.
Because if you kill a character with a character, that's 2 points. Instead, you just want to beat him to death with the Khorne Berserkers. Is that the plan?
That is the plan.
What, scared to fight me? Is that what it is?
Strategical.
Because you know I could spend 2 command points to interrupt and smack you first, basically. You got 1 command point left. I've got 5 command points left. I chose not to heroically intervene with Sol Garro here at the end of the fight phase. Besides, I couldn't get in combat with any of those Mauler Fiends. I couldn't get through the wall over here as well, so he's just going to have to stay there shouting out orders. Besides, he can smell the rank, disgusting stink of the despoiler, and I'm sure he's going to come straight for him.
He did clean himself before he came down.
You did?
Yeah, we used a bit of links.
Links used by the Black Legion everywhere. Right, let's go into the fight phase. Starting off in the gates of the Temple City, the uninjured Mauler Fiend is swinging away first, and you've spent your last command point.
Yes, on Demon Forge.
On Demon Forge. Okay, so everything in the Terminators? I suppose you have to, that's what you're engaged with. So what are we swinging with first?
Lash Tendrils first.
Nice. Force to hit, and re-rolling to hit. And you get 4 hits. And your strength 6 because you're uninjured.
Yeah.
So you're wounding on...
Freeze.
And you're re-rolling those wounds. Nice. AP -2.
Yeah.
So my 2-up save becomes a 4-up save. Is it 4 of them?
Yeah.
And every one of these I fail, I lose a Terminator. And I fail 3 of them. Right. It does 2 damage each. So 6 up, Iron Hands, Chapter Tactics on the first guy. He's alive! And then the next 2 wounds. So that kills 1 Terminator. And then the last one. 2 Terminators fall to Lash Tendrils. And now we have the Mauler Fists coming in. 4 attacks. With the reroll. 3 hits. Winning on 2s. Nice. Okay. So 3 wounds get through. 3 Terminators left. Crux Terminatus will keep me safe. Crux Terminatus keeps 1 safe. And then this does a flat 3 damage.
Yes.
So 6s, 1 dies, 6s, another 1 dies, 1 Terminator is left standing. We end up like this. The Cyclone Missile Launcher Terminator still engaged with the cultist. Sol Garro stood there, not enough gap for that Mauler Fiend to come piling in and engage Garro. Now over here, and I'm spending 2 command points to interrupt. Now this is the thing. Snow will hit on 2s and re-roll, but he wounds on 3s at AP -1. So I'm unlikely to kill any. But that Terminator Sergeant's got 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, but wounding on 2s. So I think I'm going to pay it on the Sergeant. I do get the re-rolls to hit because of the Chaplain. So 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. And re-rolling to hit. I don't re-roll the 3. Oh no. Only 1 hit gets through. I will wound on a 2.
Oh.
And I don't wound. And I'm down to 3 command points left. Surrounded. Outnumbered. The Terminator Sergeant swinging wildly away. And the Khorne Berserkers dance right and left. Just cackling. Just laughing. Now the Khorne Berserkers, revving their chain blades, will fight back. We've got 3. 3 have to hit the Terminators. 5 will go against Chaplain Snow. So what are we doing first, sir?
I'll get the Terminator out of the way.
Yes, okay.
Rerolling to hit.
What, everything?
Yep.
Because of?
The Apostle.
Okay, I like it. Nice.
And I've got an additional.
Death to the False Emperor. Okay, hitting on 3s. So you managed to get 6 hits in there. 7 hits in there. And your Khorne Berserkers, you're wounding on
4s.
3s plus 1 to wound.
And then re-roll to wound.
What, all of them?
Yeah, because of the champion.
Have you been watching Liam's?
No, that's how I've always played.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. So 6 wounds get through. And this is just his first round of attacks, right? You can do this twice. 2-up save. And 6-up Iron Hands Chapter Tactics. This Sergeant has 1 wound left. And he falls, leaving Snow on his own. So you don't have to do the second round of attacks with him. And now all of these on Snow. Hitting on 3s. So 15 hits got through on Snow. These are wound on 3s. With a reroll as well. This is the weight of dice coming in is frightening. They are just hammering against his Terminator form. He needs to make a bunch of 2-up saves here, but he will not bend. And he makes every single one. What a hero! And now, because they're Khorne Berserkers, you get to do it again. Now, not only do you get to do it again, but with the Terminator dead, the remaining Khorne Berserkers pile in, and 2 more of them get to fight Snow. So the volume, you can see his white skull staring out at you there. Now the volume of attacks has increased, and these hit on 3s. And then you're going to be re-rolling again. 19 hits, wounded on 3s. With a re-roll. Is that only 1
2?
Or 2? Okay, so 18 wounds get through. 18 2-up. Terminator saves to make. Come on, Snow. You've taken worse than this before. Drop dice don't count. Drop dice don't count. For the Emperor. More importantly, for the 13th.
He's done it again. Oh no.
I failed 1 6-up Iron Hands Chapter Tactics, or 13th Chapter Tactics.
Nice.
He takes every single attack. He does not bend.
No,
he is a hero. Now, more importantly, your characters cannot fight. He just stands there screaming. And if he dies, he will die screaming the Emperor's name. Now we're over here onto the Mauler Fiend, or
the cultists.
Cultists
Them out of the way.
against the Terminators. Let's pile them in. So the cultists pile in. They have engaged Sol Garro, but they can't fight him because he wasn't a target of the charge. But this is 18 attacks. They've got 2 attacks each going in against that Terminator. It was 8 hits, wounding on 5, so they toughness strength 3. That was pretty good for little cultists. You got 4 wounds in. 4 2-up saves. And a 6-up 13th Chapter Tactics. No, the Cyclone Missile Launcher takes a wound. It's down to 1 wound left. Now we have the Mauler Fiend. 6 Lasher Tendril attacks going in against the Tactical Squad.
Yeah.
Now, this Mauler Fiend's on 3 wounds left, so he's only strength 4.
Yeah, so 4s.
4s to wound. Nope, nothing wounds. And then 2 attacks with the fists. And misses. So he's so injured, he misses all of his attacks. Now, I get to strike back. So this squad, and he's within an inch of an inch, these 4 will fight there. Where's the sergeant? There's the sergeant. So this is 5 attacks on your cultists. Mind you, he's injured. I'm not going to kill it. 5 attacks on the cultist. 3s. And 3s. 4 wounds on the cultists. Kill 2 of them. And then the Cyclone Missile Launcher, 4s and 2s to smush. 1 of them goes pop under a Power Fist. And then Sol Garro swings back with his Relic Blade, hits every time, strength 6, wounding on 2s, wounds every time, kills 4 more of them. Is that squad?
Got 2.
2 left.
Yeah.
And at the end of that combat, he will not pile in because now Sol Garro is no longer locked up in combat, which is what I intended all along. And I think morale is going to be a thing for these guys as well. You've got no command points left, and he just lost 8 of them.
Yeah.
So they will go. And now we're across to Chaplain Snow, swinging back at these Khorne Berserkers. The Sergeant couldn't take any down, but can Snow, hitting on 2s, because he's a Chaplain, and he re-rolls because he's a Chaplain. And he's strength 5 with his Crozius, and he wounds every single time, AP -1/2 damage, so 4-up saves. Hero, he takes 3 of them with him. What a beast. And at the end of all of that, you lost 3 Khorne Berserkers, but their leadership 9 because of Black Legion, so they're okay. Over here, you lost 8 cultists.
Yeah.
So the remaining 2 are running away. I lost 4 Terminators, and that would be bad, but I have and they shall know no fear, and that's still bad. Now, keeping the Cyclone Missile Launcher alive there was a bad idea because he succumbed to his injuries and has collapsed. I'm not going to say he ran away despite failing morale. He has succumbed to his injuries and has sunk to the floor. And then we forgot about the combats over here. There's even more combats coming up. Cultists, Rhino, and Matthias against these traitor Marines. Then at the end of those combats, the cultists managed to take out the injured Hellblaster here before losing another 4 of their number. Over here, I wounded the Rhino. It did no damage back to the Devastators and the Predator. And then over here, the Sergeant, the champion with the Power Fist, did put 2 wounds on Matthias, my Dreadnought, before he smashed the 3 of those traitor Marines into dust. Well done, Matthias. Now, you lost 6 guys in combat, so we've got another morale test to make here. The leadership 6, and you lose another 1, still locking up the Hellblaster. So that's what you wanted to do. So at least if they fall back, they're going to be -1 to hit. And that is finally the end of turn 3 for the Black Legion. And you haven't got a point yet.
No.
You were, I would like to say you were so close in taking down Snow, but
yeah, that was epic.
you didn't. You didn't touch him.
He's been Snow.
You didn't touch him. And the Lieutenant is down to 1 wound left. He's still alive. So it's still 1 point for the 13th and 0 points for the Black Legion. But we are tearing chunks out of each other. All of my Terminators are now gone. The Fire Raptor's down to 5 wounds left. 2 of my big guns are not firing again, because you're just ramming my castle and ramming the castle and ramming the castle. The pressure that the Black Legion is applying has been phenomenal. I am running out of assets, and Abbadon has yet to speak. So let's go on to the 13th, turn 3. Here we are after the movement phase for the 13th, and I thought long and hard about doing a suicide run for Brother Captain Sol Garro and this Lieutenant, this Librarian, just charging through the wall to help Snow out. But it would be suicide. We need to see who blinks first. Abbadon needs to come forward. These Terminators need to come forward. I want him forward, and then maybe I'll be able to get the drop on him. Not sure. We're getting very, very close. It's getting uncomfortable. And I couldn't really pull Snow out of combat. I'd love to, but the narrator in me says no. He's exactly where he wants to be. Smacking apart Khorne Berserkers. Sol Garro ordered him out of close combat a moment ago with a Mauler Fiend, and he doesn't want to do it again. The other thing I tried to do is I tried to advance this squad. That was the squad around there. I tried to advance them a long way to put a screen in front so the Terminators had something to chew on to slow them down, but I rolled a 1, so they didn't go very far. And this is the squad that was up there that have dropped down. So they won't be shooting. This unit of intercessors won't be shooting this turn because they advanced. They didn't advance very far, as I said, probably because Abbadon is screaming at them, and Abbadon's very scary. And then around here, lots of tactical repositioning, really. The Hellblasters are lined up to have a look through that doorway and fire at the Black Legion on the other side, as is on a Brother Matthias here, who smushed a unit of Chaos Space Marines a minute ago. He can now see through the gap with his last cannons, and then he's going to punch this Rhino, which has 8 wounds left, with his Dreadnought Power Fist, and hopefully kill it. The unit of Devastators that were in combat for it have broken out of combat as well. And the Fire Raptor is now in VTOL mode. It's moving 20 inches. It hits on 4s now, it's so injured. But there's still another character over there. And if I can clear away the screen that's surrounding him, maybe I could have a go. One of the things that I perhaps should have done is break this squad out of close combat. But I'm hoping this Mauler Fiend will whiff again and not be able to charge something else. If I can hold one of them up, then that suits me fine. So let's go on to the Psychic Phase. I have a cunning plan. The first thing I want to do is smite, because if I get a big number, that's got 3 wounds left, I could kill it. So smiting away, there's a 6, that passes. No denial now from the Black Legion. D3 damage, and if I roll a 5-6, then that kills that Mauler Fiend. And that's a 5-6. I do kill the Mauler Fiend. It blows up on a 6. It doesn't blow up. That's one of them down. And then the next thing I want to do is Might of Heroes. You don't need line of sight, but it's a character within 12-inch range. And Snow is a hero. I need a 6. And that passes. And now Snow is up to toughness 5. +1 strength, +1 attack, and +1 toughness. I like to think that it's not necessarily a psychic surge, it's just him getting angrier and angrier. Okay, so let's shoot some guns. This frees up this squad with a melter combi melter to fire at that Mauler Fiend, and I am within 6 inches of Sol Garro. So let's do the melter fires and re-roll that 1 because of the Captain's aura. And it's strength 8, a wound on a 3, and it wounds 5 up and vulnerable save. This thing's uninjured. You fail the save, now it's injured, and it's injured 3 times, 3 wounds. Then we chuck a grenade, which misses, re-roll, which hits, and doesn't wound. And then I'll fire the bolt guns off camera. Bolt gun shells bounced, then this squad did the same thing. The second tactical squad, the grenade and the bolt guns doing nothing, but there's a melter combi melter in this squad as well. 3s to hit, both hit, and 3s to wound. Both wound 2 5 up and buns, and you fail both of them. 9 wounds to get through, and this will do 2d6 damage. And that's 8 wounds. It puts it down to 1 wound left. That was pretty efficient. So the Mauler Fiend is steaming and angry, but not out of the fight yet. And now we're on to the Hellblasters, supported by Sol Garro and the Lieutenant, firing through the cathedral. In at Abbadon's bodyguard squad here, in at these Terminators. Now I fell back out of combat, so it's -1 to hit. I fell out of combat with these cultists here, but I'm still going to overcharge my guns, because it will do 2 damage, and any wounds that I get through will kill a Terminator. So this is 4s to hit, re-rolling 1s, and any 2s, because that's -1, will kill a Hellblaster. So that's a miss and 1 dead Hellblaster. Here's the next shot. And that's a miss and 1 hit. And then I re-roll a 1 because of the Captain. And then the last shot isn't in rapid fire range. So what happens there is these 2 kills go to these 2 2s go to -1 and kill 2 Hellblasters. And in the end, I only get 3 hits in. So I hope I can kill 2 Terminators. 2 Terminators for 2 Hellblasters. I'll buy that for $1. It's strength 8 versus toughness 4, so it wounds on 2s. And I reroll 1s because the Lieutenant. So 3 wounds, 3 5-up Terminator saves. And you make 2 of them, only 1 dies. Oh no. Well, Matthias will have to fire through at them with his twin las cannon. I'll hit this with the heavy flamer. The twin las cannon hits on 4s because it's heavy. And it hits twice. Well done, Matthias. Wounds on 2s. Wounds twice. 2 5-up invulnerable saves. And you fail both of them. Now this does D6 damage each, so I need to roll more than a 1 on the first one. That's 1 dead Terminator. 2 dead Terminator. Well done, Matthias. Taking out 2 there. So Abbadon has got 2 bodyguards left with him. Now, I wish I could fire the Predator in at them, but the Predator fell out of combat. Like these Devastators, they also fell out of combat. The Intercessors fired in and killed the 2 remaining cultists there, and Matthias put a wound on the Rhino with a flamer. So, left to fire. All I have left to fire is these missile launchers, the Devastators, and this Dreadnought. Oh, and the Fire Raptor. Right, the missile launchers on the Devastators have finally got a clean shot through the trees at that Mauler Fiend. Let's take this beast down, hitting on a 2 with a Signum, and hitting on 3s with the other shots. No re-rollings, but wounding on 3s and re-rolling 1s. Re-roll the 1s because of Krieger. So 3 5-up invulnerable saves on your Mauler Fiend. No. Does it blow up, sir?
Yes.
Oh no, it blows up. And there's plenty of things within 6 inches of it. Now, when it went boom, 3 in that squad died, 2 in that squad died, a Primaris Marine and a half got injured. This Rhino's down to 2 wounds left, 2 Berserkers got blown up by the explosion. So mass death all around there, and the only thing we haven't rolled for so far is Chaplain Snow. D3 wounds on Snow for 2. He's got 5 wounds he ignores, mortal wounds on 6s, he ignores any wounds on 6s. And he takes 2 wounds. He's down to 3 left. He's finally injured. But it wasn't the blade of a Khorne Berserker that did it. It was a flaming piece of debris that blew a hole through the wall over his shoulder. So Promethean and Warpfire spews out from that demon engine, injuring multiple units, left, right, all over the place. Beautiful thing. Clearly these Devastators hit a fuel tank. Right, the 2 last things left to fire is this Mortis Dreadnought and the Fire Raptor, and I'm going to put everything into these unit of Marines up here. I need to clear them away before that Lord hightails it into that Land Raider. I'm just saying that's what I would do.
I'm going to probably not get in and just hide behind it.
Okay, let's pull the trigger on this squad here. And the Dreadnought and the Fire Raptor open up, and when the smoke clears, the Lord is stood there bathed in ichor and gore. The squad around him got completely evaporated.
Yeah, they did their job protecting him.
Yeah, but he's a corn guy, right?
Yeah, so he loved it.
He loved it. He's in a bloodbath. He's happy as can be. So now we're charging, and ignore the dead pile. Now we're charging. The only thing that is going to charge is Dreadnought into Rhino. Matthias managed to get around here with a charge. You don't have to go in a straight line, so I got around this way because I want to get closer to where the action is. He will hit on 3s. And he will strength 12. So he'll wound on 3s because you're toughness 7. 2 wounds at -3. Each does a flat 3 damage. Okay, only doing 3 damage on the Rhino. It's down to 3 left.
Yeah.
But I can't. I wanted it dead so I could consolidate this way. But at least it isn't charging off and into my castle one more time. And then into the Temple City, where Chaplain Snow will swing his Crozius one more time. He's got an extra attack now because of Might of Heroes. So he hits on 2s and he re-rolls because he's a Chaplain. Only 3 hits. It's strength 6 now, so it wounds on 3s. 2 wounds at -1. And the Khorne Berserkers dance. They manage to dance right and left and avoid the blows. The Khorne Berserkers pile in. We've got 24 attacks. This is the first half. And re-rolling the hit and re-rolling the wound again. That's a good job you got that re-roll. There's only 4 hits get in that first time. Here's the re-roll. Okay, so that's a lot of hits. And then do you want to roll a wound now?
3 additional.
Death to the False Emperor. Ooh, pretty good. So all of those hits, that looks like 13 hits. Wounding on 3s. I know, wounding on 4s, because I'm toughness 5 now. Yeah?
Yeah.
But you get your reroll to wound.
Yeah.
Toughness 5 with Might of Heroes. That saved me a few wounds there. Now, can he be a boss one more time and make a bunch of 2-up saves? Yes, he can. Not one blade gets through. 16 hits with the second round of attacks with Death to the False Emperor. These are wounded on 4s. And a reroll because of the champion? Who's the guy who does the reroll? The champion.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to need those rerolls. That toughness 5 really helping me out. Because Khorne Berserkers are a flat strength 5, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes them mean. Okay, so what's this? Another 10 more wounds for Snow to save. Hang in there, buddy. You can do it. 2 ups. And he fails 1. 6 up, 13th chapter tactic save. And he takes 1 more wound. He's down to 2 wounds left. Now we're in the morale phase, and I don't think you have any morale to take because you are Black Legion. You have no morale to take here. I think I forgot to narrate the fact that these intercessors fired in at one of these squads, but doing nothing because the Terminators were in terrain. So yeah, the one squad that could fire did fire in, but no morale for you to take here. I've got morale to take here. He lost 3 guys. 3 plus 5 is 8. That's a sergeant. He's leadership 8, so he holds. And that's the end of the 13th. Turn 3. We're getting on to turn 4 now. Your Lord is looking a bit exposed. But there's 3 characters here in a nice little bubble for you to try and take on. However, you've lost your Mauler Fiends. However, you've still got a lot of punch on this side of the wall, and can Snow hold out for round after round? Let's find out as we go into Chaos Space Marines, turn 4. Here we are after the Black Legion's movement phase, the Rhino moving over, so I have to divert some resource to take it out. If it had stayed in combat with honoured brother Matthias, he would have smushed it in the assault phase, in the Black Legion assault phase, and left me free to fire elsewhere. But this way, have to try and take on that Rhino, otherwise next turn it's going to charge something again. And the Land Raider popped up and over the barricade, and the Chaos Lord got inside, which, let's face it, I might have hid behind it instead. However, the Fire Raptor in VTOL mode can move 20, or it can hit flyer mode and just zip past and shoot the Chaos Lord and put all guns into him and wipe him out. He's not a fool. He's been fighting the long war for 10,000 years. There's a Land Raider right there. Why not get inside of it? A mobile bunker with las cannons on. However, as we can see, the 13th have done a pretty good job of driving the Black Legion back inside the Temple City. However, on this side of the walls, Chaplain Snow is in trouble. Abbadon, the despoiler, pushing forward. The Terminators pushing forward. He's still locked up with 4 Khorne Berserkers. And now there's an Apostle with the Black Mace. Is it the Black Mace?
Black Mace.
And he's swinging his way around there to try and get into combat. Snow's on 2 wounds left. The Black Mace does a flat 2 damage. And if a character kills a character, that'll be 2 points. And I'm in the lead by only 1 point. And then this is a champion.
Yes.
And he's about to go charging into some intercessors, I imagine. So the Black Legion are character hunting. They're still trying to take out the HQ of the 13th and bait them onto this side of the walls where all these Terminators are. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Right, in the shooting phase, the heavy bolter from the Land Raider peeled off the last sergeant there with a combi melter. He was a threat for that Land Raider, so that was good shooting by the heavy bolter. Now all 4 las cannons are firing at the Storm Raptor, and the Storm Raptor's in VTOL mode, so you're hitting on 3s finally. And only 2 hits, but you're wounding on 3s. It's got 5 wounds left. Both wound. I need 2 6s. I make neither of them. 2d6 damage. And we have a Fire Raptor down. We have a Fire Raptor down, which does not explode, just crumples out of the sky, peels off, I think, and lands somewhere off the battle grid. After the Fire Raptor crashed and burned, I remembered to take away 2 Hellblasters from last turn, which died when their plasma coils overheated. And around here, we had firepower erupting into the intercessors, and you killed 1 in this squad, 1 in that squad. The Khorne Berserkers remembered that they had bolt pistols and fired into Snow and did no damage. And that's the end of the shooting phase. Now, what are you charging? So the Apostle is definitely going to go charging into Snow.
Yes.
Where are the Terminators going? Then round here, Abbadon fails his charge, or rather I like to think that he sends the minions in first. The 2 Terminators get into that squad of intercessors. The champion gets into this squad of intercessors. And the Apostle there has zoned in on Chaplain Snow. So multiple charges round here. Right, we're starting with the Apostle versus Snow. 3 attacks hitting on
2s.
And re-rolling. Everything hits. Strength.
+3 is 7.
Okay, toughness 5 at the moment because of Mighty Heroes. 2 wounds.
And reroll wound because the champion.
Yes. Okay, so 2 wounds. 3 wounds, sorry, yep. And it's AP minus a lot.
-2.
-2. So 4 up. Rosaria save. I've got 2 wounds left, and each of these does 2 damage.
Yes, that's correct.
I hope your Dark Apostle doesn't take down my Chaplain. And Dark Apostle is like the Chaos version of Chaplains, right?
That's right, yeah.
So Chaplain on Chaplain action. Awesome. 4 up saves.
Cool.
And that's 2 damage each, right?
Yeah.
So that would be 4 damage. I have 3 command points left.
Right.
So I'm going to spend 2 of them now.
Okay. Well, you need to roll your feel no pain shenanigans.
Well, this is just re-roll my invulnerable saves. So a command point re-roll and a command point re-roll because it's narrative.
Okay.
So 4 ups. Right. I spent 2 command points. He takes 2 wounds. He's got 2 left. 1 6 up. 13th chapter tactic saves to keep him alive for the Emperor. Snow is alive on 1 wound left.
Yeah.
Now Terminators against these intercessors. We have an axe and a fist. What was fighting first?
I'll do the axes first.
Okay. And that's death to the false Emperor.
Twice.
Twice, because they explode on 5s and 6s because of
Abbadon.
So that's 4 hits with 2 attacks.
Yes.
Not bad.
No.
3s to wound. And where'd you get the reroll to wound from? Is it the Apostle or is it
out
the...
of range.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
2 wounds. And axe is AP -2?
Minus.
I want to say 2. I saved them both anyway.
Doesn't matter.
I did 2 6s. Now we've got the power fists on your champion, so 3 attacks. Hasn't he got an extra attack because he's the champion?
No. But
No?
it's an extra re-roll anyway because it's 5s.
Okay.
I think.
And then wounds on a 2. And doesn't wound. Oh no, it does wound.
Yeah.
I need a 6 up. No, D3 damage, and you smush an intercessor. And it looks like there's 3 in that squad, 3 in this squad before the assaulted champion comes swinging in with his. He's got an axe as well.
He's got an axe as well.
Got an axe as well. How many attacks does this guy have?
4.
4, nice. And he rerolls to hit because, or does he hit on 2s anyway?
Hits on 2s anyway.
Nice. Okay, moves on 3s. And rerolls to wound because of the apostle.
No, because of himself.
Because of himself. AP minus.
It's power axe, so.
It's minus 2 AP. 1 dies. Now you can select a model that didn't charge and fight with it. So now we have a lot of Khorne Berserkers. There's 4 left in there. Attacking Chaplain Snow on 1 wound left. Right, they fight twice, so we're going to do this all at the same time. It's 24 attacks, hitting on 3s. And you get to re-roll everything. And then all of those 6s are additional attacks. There's a couple of... So let's do the re-roll to hit. And how many 6s? 1, 2, 1, 2...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 additional attacks with Death to the False Emperor. Right, these are the additional attacks with Death to the False Emperor, which you then re-roll. And these in turn do not generate more attacks. And that's a crazy number of attacks. I can't even count them all up. Right, and now you're going to be wounded on 4s. And re-rolling to wound because of the Dark Apostle?
No, it's the Exalted Champion.
Right, okay. I should know this by now, really. Force to wound, because I'm toughness 5 right now. And then let's do the re-roll to wound. Oh no, that's a lot. So far, 15 wounds. These are the re-roll to wound. And you're looking for those 4s. Right, will this Might of Heroes keep me alive? I don't know how many wounds he's got to save. I want to count them up. 20. 20 this time.
20.
20. Drop dice, don't count. 20 wounds, 2 up. Terminator saves. Can he be a hero for a 3rd time? I've got a couple of 1s. There's a 1, 1, 1, 4 1s. 4 1s. 4 6s to keep him alive. I've seen it done. And a hero falls. Snow finally falls. And then the Khorne Berserkers consolidate 3 inches towards the closest enemy unit, and with their bloodlust up, they piled into these 2 intercessors here. And then it's my fight phase, and instead of attacking the dude, I attacked the Khorne Berserkers, and I just killed 2 of them. Excellent. And then the attacks from these intercessors didn't hurt the Terminators at all. And at the end of everything, it looks like this. So now it's a point each. Abbadon is stood there. The Apostle is there. What's this guy's name again? Champion?
The Exalted Champion.
He stood there. Snow finally fell, but he held up the charge for turn after turn, which has allowed me to regroup, has allowed me to clear the castle, allowed me to clear away the Black Legion in the backfield. We're chewing chunks out of each other, so it's the Imperium's turn. At least we have the Emperor on our side. Let's go on to space. He's not dead, he's just a little bit poorly. Let's go to Space Marines turn 4. Okay, it's turn 4. Lots of careful measuring, lots of thinking. If I can get that Rhino out of the way and crack open that Land Raider, there's a point in there. There's a Lord in there that must die. Cut the head off the snake. Make sure the HQs, the command structure of the Black Legion, fall. Meanwhile, Matthias pushes forward. This squad had to advance down, and the Hellblasters moved forward to prevent a bit of a screen in front of Garro and the Librarian and the Lieutenant. It's still turn 4. We're playing for random game lengths. So we've still got a turn before we get into close combat with him. Now, I'd love to shoot at him with las cannons and things from a backfield over there. But he's a character, and these guys are closer forward. Even though they're out of line of sight, I can't target him. I can only target them. And I can't target them because they're behind a wall. So the las cannons and the long-range shots from over there are going to have to come through and hit these Terminators here. However, both of these squads of Primaris Marines have jumped down. They've fallen back out of combat, and they can shoot because I'm using Ultramarines chapter tactics after we fell back. One thing I can do in my Cyclic Phase, however, is Smite hits the closest enemy unit in line of sight and range. Now I don't have a line of sight to these guys, but the Librarian advanced from over there, and now the closest thing in his line of sight is Abbadon, the Despoiler. So let's smite him. I need a 5, and that's a 7. He will suffer D3 mortal wounds. For 2 mortal wounds, first blood taken on the Despoiler. For 1 mortal wound, because he rounds all wounds, halves all wounds. Yeah. So he has taken a wound. He's got a little bit of a headache. And now, because he might decide to come charging through, let's try and pull off Null Zone. It's a warp charge value of an 8, but anything within 6-inch range of my Librarian will not get an invulnerable save. That doesn't go off. Right, there's 2 Khorne Berserkers in that window there. This Mortis Dread can see them, so let's fire. Hitting on 3s and wounding on 3s. And re-rolling 1s because of Krieger. So 5 wounds, AP -1. You are in a ruin, so it's +1. So 3s, and only 1 dies. So the Devastator Squad, the heavy bolter's going to go through the window. The 3 last cannons are going to hit this Land Raider. Here's the heavy bolter. 3s to hit, 3s to wound, 2 more wounds, 2 more 3-up saves. And I kill the last Khorne Berserker. Good, that's trouble gone. Because they are trouble, even when there's 1 or 2 of them. 3 last cannons into this thing. 2 hits, wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s, because Lieutenant, 1 wound, 1 5-up save, which you fail. How many wounds is it on?
15.
Because I haven't shot at it for a long time. D6 damage, for 3 more damage, down to 12. Then the Intercessors fired at the Rhino, putting it down to 2 wounds. They had no other targets to shoot at. Now Matthias will try and crack this Land Raider. I'm hitting on 4s because I moved. And I missed both times. Am I in range of... No, I'm not in range. Predator. Let's put the Predator autocannon into the Rhino and the 2 las cannons into the Land Raider. Las cannons into the Land Raider. 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. Doesn't wound. And then 2 D3 shots into the Rhino. Snake Eyes. 2 shots. Hitting on 3s. They both hit. Wounding on 4. Strength 7, toughness 7. They both wound. 2 4-up saves. And you fail 1, the Rhino's gone. Does it blow up? Don't blow up again, please. No. It doesn't blow up. So the Rhino's gone. Good, because I didn't want it charging anything left. Now I've got 4 missile launchers in the backfield, and those missile launchers are going to streak out and try and smack this Land Raider open, or do I? Or do I instead? No, they can't really see anything else. Firing at the Land Raider, 3s to hit, and 4s to wound. Strength 8, toughness 8. 2 wounds. 2 4-up saves, and you make 1 fail 1. D6 damage for 2 damage. How many is it on now? 10. Right, I've started to crack the nugget. That's the end of all their shooting. That's the castle done. That's Matthias done. That's everything done. We're across to here. So 2 Hellblasters, rapid firing through at this squad here. I am overcharging. Here's the first shot. 3s to hit. Re-rolling 1s because of Sol Garro. And 3s to hit with the second guy. Everything hits. This is strength 8 versus toughness 4. Wounding on 2s. So you need that many 5-up and buns. And each one kills a Terminator because it's 2 damage each. So 3 Terminators. Buy it. Nice. Now everything outside the Temple City is fired. Now we're moving inside to the Primaris Marines of the 2nd Company of the 13th. These guys fell out of combat. We're closest to Abbadon. We're going to pull the trigger on him. I'm hitting on 4s because I fell out. And 3 hits. He's toughness 5, right?
Yeah.
So I'm winning on 5s at AP -1. So it's a -1, which goes to a 3, but back to a 2 because you're in a ruin and you make the save. Now these guys are going to unload on the Apostle that killed Snow because he deserves to die. 4s to hit. 2 hits and 4s to wound. 1 wound. And he's fine. And that's the end of my turn 4. It's still 1 point each. But apart from the Land Raider out there, I've cleared the wasteland. And now Abbadon has only got 4 Terminators with him. And his other heroes, his other lords. Does he dare to step foot outside into this blender that is controlled by the 13th? Does he dare fight me?
I may dare.
Let's go on to Black Legion, turn 5. Inside the Temple City, the Terminators close in for the kill against the Primaris Marine, along with the Champion and the Dark Apostle. Every loyalist that stepped inside the city has died so far, and it looks like these two squads are going to die as well. Mind you, everything that stepped through the gates into the wasteland beyond, all the Black Legion that stepped out here have died, except for that Land Raider. And Abbadon has decided to step through. He knows no fear. It's turn 5, and if a character kills a character, that's 2 points, 1 point each.
Yeah.
If you kill Sol Garro, that's slay the Warlord as well, that's 3 points. But you could just pick on a librarian that only has no invulnerable save. You could pick on him for 2 points.
Abbadon has bone picked with Sol Garro.
I got a bone to pick with him too. It's been 10,000 years in the making, but these heroes will engage in close combat. He's got some Terminators to back him up. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Round here, there's melters all over the place. 2 of the Primaris Marines died here. 1 of the Primaris Marines died there. There's only 1 left in each squad, and let's face it, they're not going to be long for this world. Now, round here, what are you firing first?
I'm going to fire the melter, the Hellblaster Primaris.
That melter?
Yeah.
Okay. So both of the Terminators are firing at what?
The Hellblasters.
Okay, cool.
So melter first.
Yes. Hits. Wounds on a 2. Wounds. That's a dead... Well, yeah. That's a dead Hellblaster. And then all the combi bolt shots?
Yeah.
Hitting.
Reroll that one.
Okay.
Abbadon.
Okay. Only 1 wound. And he takes it. So I think I'm going to pull away that one, unfortunately for you, because he's got the Talon of Horus, and if I pulled, you might have been able to shoot some of my heroes, and I want you to do it with the blades. You're going to have to use the Talon of Horus to take out that Hellblaster, I'm afraid. So the Talon of Horus from Abbadon is firing at the last Hellblaster. Hitting on 2s, I take it.
Yes.
He's a good shot. And he missed 1, but he gets to reroll. He still missed 1.
Okay. -1 AP.
Okay. What strength? Oh, that'll
yeah.
do. So 4 ups. And the Hellblaster takes a wound,
It's
but
D3.
he's still... Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And the Hellblaster takes a wound, but he's still alive, still hanging in there somehow. He probably doesn't want to be there. Now, from this little castle onto the Land Raider, you're pointing at Brother Matthias?
Yes.
He hasn't done anything to you.
No, but he could do if he gets too close.
Yeah, he's dangerous. And you're still on 10 wounds, so you're still hitting on 3s.
Yes.
Is everything going into him?
Yeah.
He's got 6 wounds left.
Ooh.
Okay?
No, I'll do heavy bolsters at the other Devastator squad because I don't want to be cracked open too much.
Okay, heavy bolters at the Devastators, hitting on 3s.
Yes. Just picking up the dice.
Okay. And 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, strength 5. 1 wound, 1 4 up, and 1 6 up. No, you do kill 1 of the Devastators in that squad. I've already lost my sergeant. I'll take away the heavy bolter. And then 4 last cannons in on Matthias. You get 2 hits. Strength 9, toughness 7 on the Dreadnought. 2 wounds, AP -3. He needs 2 6-up saves. And he fails them both, 2d6 damage. For 9 damage. He's got 6 left. 9 6-up, ignore wounds. And unfortunately, he does fall. Does he go boom?
Ooh.
He doesn't go boom, he just crumples. I'm sure the sarcophagus will be recovered after this fight. They will fight like animals to make sure that he gets returned to the fleet. Now that's the end of the shooting phase. Now let's charge. Right, the Terminators want to get through to the Lieutenant, but it's going to bring them within an inch of this squad here, so they have to declare a charge against both squads. There's 2 melters there, and they're firing Overwatch. And I reroll 1s, and I don't hit. Now let's do the rest of the shots off camera. The Terminators make it in on the Lieutenant. Abbadon trying to go in against Garro, who uncorks a grenade and chucks it. And misses, and then let's see how far he goes. Don't roll snake eyes. You roll a 7. Abbadon gets in. Then round here, the Terminators and the characters come charging in. And it ends up like this. And with only 1 command point left, I don't have enough command points to pay to interrupt. So we start here, and the Terminators consolidate forward. The Apostle and the Champion do not consolidate forward, making sure that there are bodies in front of them for the shooting phase, abusing that character rule, using that character rule as you must, as you should. So now we're around here. Are we going to do the Terminators first, or
Yeah,
we
we'll
leave
do
the main
Terminators.
event? So you've got one against the Lieutenant. One can hit that squad, or you can put everything against the Lieutenant because he's within an inch of that guy. I should declare that this guy is going to heroically intervene at the end of the charge phase.
Okay.
Which means Abbadon can't strike him, but he has got a force stave. So what are you doing with the Terminators?
I'm going to make sure.
You kill the Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would do that. Okay, so a couple of power fist attacks.
Power fist attacks.
And you get a reroll to hit because you're next to Abbadon.
Yeah. It's all hits as well. So.
Okay, one hit. Wounds on A2. And that's a wound. It does D3 mortal wounds. I only have one wound left. That does 2. 6 up saves? No. The Lieutenant falls. Suddenly, it's 2 points to 1. And now, Abbadon will strike Brother Captain Sol Garro. So Abbadon is going to use Drachnian, the Demon Blade, echo of the first murder. Number of attacks is a 1. 1
wound.
is bad. What does that do?
Mortal wound.
It does a mortal wound to him straight away.
Yes.
Nasty. Right, so what does that mean when you roll a 1, Chewie?
It means that I can't use the sword for that phase.
And did you declare all the attacks with Drachnian?
I said yes.
Which means that Drachnian rebels in his hand, puts a mortal wound on Abbadon the Despoiler, and if you'd have split your attacks, you could have used some with the Talon and some with Drachnian.
Yeah.
I so much want to see this combat. How many attacks does Abbadon have?
He has...
Checking the book.
6 attacks.
6 attacks. Let's say he put 3 on Drachnian and 3 on the Talon, okay?
Okay, alright.
So you rolled a 1 on Drachnian.
Yeah.
So no more attacks with Drachnian, and you took a mortal wound. And then 3 attacks with the Talon because I just want to see this fight.
Okay.
And he hits
sure?
on 2s. Oh yeah, I want to. Yes.
And then rerolls that one and he gets an additional.
Okay, so that turns into 4 hits. Yes, 4 hits. And the Talon is what? Strength a lot?
Times 2.
Strength times 2?
Yeah, times 2 minus 3 d3.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I regret nothing. 2s to wound. Does he get any rerolls to wound?
No.
No. So that is 2 wounds get through. At -3, I hold up the Shield Eternal and scream the Emperor's name. 3 up invulnerable save. And 1 gets through doing D3 damage for 3 damage. Now that's halved rounding up. So that's 2 damage.
Yep.
Because the Shield Eternal. So I get 2 6-up unresolved saves. Sol Garro only takes 1 wound. He eyes up Abbadon and says, "Is that all you got?" So Abbadon's blow deflects off his shield, takes a rent out of Sol Garro's armour, and then he swings the relic blade gifted to him by the Sigillite 10,000 years ago. We were wolves once. You were my brother once. Now you must die. 2s to hit. Strength 6 versus toughness 5. 3s to wound. 3 wounds. AP -3.
4 ups.
And you make 2. Fail 1. This does D3 damage. So 1 damage. Abbadon's on 4 wounds left. Sol Garro is on 5 wounds left. And now the Librarian, Force Lightning crackling down his stave, will strike down the Despoiler. Librarians have 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, and a Force stave is +2, so wounding on 3s. Rerolling, I was rerolling 1 because there was a Lieutenant nearby, but he's fallen. -1, D3 damage each time, so 2 3-up saves. And you make them both. The Abbadon just laughs at him. The Despoiler just laughs. And these guys will pile in and hit the Terminators. And that's the end of Black Legion turn 5. They're winning 2 points to 1. They've killed 2 characters. I've only killed 1 character, but now it's time for the 13th to speak. Let's go on to Loyalists turn 5. And here we are after the 13th movement phase and very little move. Now the tactical thing to do would have been to pull Sol Garro out of combat, because I have las cannons and auto cannons and missile launchers here, and just put round after round after round in Abbadon. He is the closest unit forward. But I cannot break Sol Garro out of close combat there. I cannot. I have to let him get his prize. So I'm not going to shoot any guns into Abbadon. In fact, Sol Garro told the librarian to back off. So the librarians backed off in close combat. These two warlords will go at it. Now, if a character kills a character, that's 2 points. Plus it will be a point for slaying the warlord. So whoever kills whoever here will essentially win this game. So it's all down to this. In the meantime, there's another point over there. But even if I crack open the Land Raider, I won't be able to shoot the passenger inside, because these Terminators are the closest thing. So I'm going to have to do some mopping up action, killing some Terminators, killing these Terminators through the gap there. The other two characters have wisely hidden away out of the line of sight from that doorway there. They're probably thinking, Abbadon's got this. And if Abbadon hasn't got this, one of us could run the the 13th Black Crusade. So let's pull the trigger on these Terminators and that Land Raider over there. Cyclic Phase very quickly. Right, let's smite Abbadon. I can't kill him, but I can hurt him. And that fails. Nope, I'm not going to re-roll. Instead, I'm going to go for Null Zone. This will be a warp charge value of 8. And that's a 7. Now, last command point. Yeah, let's do it. Yes, Null Zone goes off. Abbadon doesn't have an invulnerable save. And here we are after the shooting phase. The Land Raider got cracked open and the last two Terminators got evaporated by the Predator. That Chaos Lord is about to see a show. We're on to the charge phase. Now Krieger down here is Primaris, and even though Sol Garro told everyone to back off, and even though he doesn't have an invulnerable save, he's going to come charging in as well, because these Primaris boys, well, they're not like the rest of us. He needs a 9, and that's a fail. So now we're on to the fight phase. It is Sol Garro versus Abbadon, round 2. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You're very tall.
I am.
You know, yes. Mortarian's been pointing a gun at your head all game.
Yes, I know.
Right. Sol Garro, do this for me, brother. 2s to hit with your Relic Blade. Glowing blue hot. Re-rolling 1s. Everything hits. Strength 6. 3s to wound. Only 2 wounds. -3 AP, so 2 5-up saves. And you fail them both. 2d6 damage. He's got 4 wounds left, and he halves the amount.
2d6.
Sorry, 2d3 damage. 2d3 damage, and he's got 4 wounds left, and he halves the amount of wounds rounding up, right? So basically, if I get 2 5s and 6s here,
He's dead.
Abbadon is dead. 2 5s and 6s, and I have no command points left. And that's a 2 and a 3. So that becomes a 1 and a 1, I'm afraid. Only taking 2 wounds off of him, putting him down to 2 wounds left. So it's Abbadon's turn to fight back. Now, what are you doing this turn, Chewie?
I'm going to risk it again. Draconian, get more.
What, everything on Draconian?
Everything.
Okay, if you roll a 1 this time, I'm not going to help you.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh,
1,
out loud, really?
He takes a mortal wound, putting him down to 1 wound left. The echo of the first murder, that demon sword rebelling in his hand.
Yeah.
However, that's the end of turn 5. And it's 2 points to 1
Yes.
in favour of you. And the game will end. And you went first. Did you go first?
Yes.
You went first. So the game ends. It doesn't end. We go on to turn 6. This fight will continue. So in turn 6, the Lord over that side heads for the bunker. The Apostle and the Champion stick up against this wall here, making sure that they can't get shot by anything. And the last 2 Terminators come through the building, ready to help out Abbadon, their leader. Then in the shooting phase, the Terminators unloaded on the Hellblaster, and the Melter, the Combi Melter, missed, and he managed to make the other saves with the bolt guns. That's the end of the shooting phase. And now those Terminators are charging the Librarian, and I think you need a 4. You're just over 4 away, and they're in. So we're doing the Terminators first. A Chain Fist versus the Librarian, and he hits. Yep. Does Death to the False Emperor? Oh, no, because it's -1 to hit, so it'll be 6s instead of 5s, right?
I don't know, it doesn't affect the modifiers.
Doesn't it?
No.
Okay. So that's 2 more hits then. So 3 hits in total, 4 hits in total. 4 out of 2, not bad. And 2's to wound, it's -4, and each of these does a flat 2 damage, and you kill the Librarian with the Chain Fist with ease, and suddenly it's 3 points to 1. And then after charging models, you now attack with Abbadon. Are you going with Dracnian?
No.
No?
No.
You learned your lesson. All on the Talon Horus, or
Yeah,
all?
Yeah.
So how many attacks has he got?
6.
6 attacks. Death to the False Emperor on 5s and 6s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, with Dracnian. And he hits on 2s, and there is 1 6. Okay, so they all get, that's cool, right? And it's strength times 2.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
2's to wound. That's a lot of wounds. That's 7. 7 wounds.
Yeah.
7 wounds. 7 3-up Shield Eternal saves. Abbadon's on 1 wound left. 3 points to 1. If I can take this on him and turn around and kill Abbadon,
Yeah.
I'll get 3 points. I'll get 2 for killing a character with a character, and 1 for Slay the Warlord. And instead of 3 points to 1, it'll be 4 points to 3, and I'll win. But I need to make these shield saves. How good a close combat fighter is Brother Captain Sol Garro? I fail 1. D3 damage for 3, which is halved, rounding up becomes 2.
Yeah.
So 2, 6 up. Iron Resolve. He only takes 1 more wound. He's on 4 left. And at least the null zone bubble has collapsed. 4 wounds left. He swings his right blade 1 more time, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s, and wounding on 3s. No command points left here. And I wound 3 times. 3, 4 up from vulnerable saves. You fail 1, and you fail 2.
Yep.
Abbadon falls. And that's the end of Black Legion turn 6. You get a point for killing my Librarian, making it 3 points to 2, because you've killed 3 characters now. The Lieutenant, the Librarian, and Snow. But I get 2 points for killing a character with a character, 1 for slaying the Warlord, 4 points to 3. And it ain't over yet. We're on to the 13th. Turn 6. So in my movement phase, Sol Garro broke out of close combat with the Terminators. The tactical squad that was up there hopped up onto this crate and are looking through the window with their melter guns. Then autocannon, las cannon, missile launchers slammed into the Terminators, destroying them utterly. I can't fire upfield at that character there because there's 2 more characters back here. And then the 2 melters through the window will fire at this character, hitting on 3s and wounding on 2s. 1 wound, AP -4 on this guy.
Which one? Sorry,
This one here.
Yeah.
Does he have a save?
Nope.
He doesn't have a save. D6 damage.
He's dead.
4, he dies as well. And he's been wiped out. That makes it 5 points to 3. The game will end on a 1, 2, 3. And the game ends. And this is the way the world ends. And it was here, outside of the gates of the Temple City, that Brother Captain Sol Garro finally caught up with Abbadon the Spoiler and took his vengeance that was 10,000 years in the making. Now, it's very unlikely that Abbadon can remember him. This guy fell through a warp portal and popped out 10,000 years into the future. If you guys want to hear the backstory, then you can listen to my story time on Brother Captain Sol Garro and find out why the Knight Errant is 10,000 years into the future. As I said, it's unlikely that Abbadon can remember him, but I don't care. That was for the Legion. We were wolves once, and like a pack of wolves, we hunted him down and took his head. And it seems that the Emperor was on my side because Dracnian was not playing,
No.
sir.
Oh, no.
2 ones in a row and
Yeah.
a demon weapon rebelling in his hand.
Yeah.
It seems like fate. It's
Or maybe
interesting
that
stuff.
Sol Garro is corrupted and the demon didn't want to strike him.
You reckon?
Yeah, because, he's,
That's typical chaos, filthy words.
well, no, because he's
Trying
working
to
with the
twist.
Primaris, isn't he? Who are sort of spawned by Eldar, surely.
They're trying to twist the words of our hero, noble Astartes. Well, you can spin that narrative if you want. I'm certain that the Abbadon despoiler, we just removed as a casualty, right? This is the Eye of a Storm. There is hundreds of thousands of other cultists and 100 more other Astartes fighting on this side of the battle grid and this side of the battle grid. And after the routing that happens here, then there'll be a complete wave of reinforcements coming in to recover the crippled body of Abbadon the Despoiler and taking him back up to his battle barge. But I think we've put a big dent in the whole of the Black Crusade. I think the 13th did very well. By sticking out over here and trying to draw me towards you, that was a tactic. I didn't intend to spend my whole game out here. The Land Raider was supposed to go up the table, and the Storm Raven was not supposed to die, but you pointed at the Land Raider, it died. You pointed at the Storm Raven, it died, so I crashed, and that's where I was for the remainder of the game. But I did want to get in there and pressurize you, but that didn't happen. Still, I think it's just so tactical. Trying to take out each other's HQ, so tactical, thinking about where to put models. I mean, what do you think? I'm ramming here. I'm excited. I killed Abbadon with Sol Garro in close combat. I'm a really happy puppy right now.
You just gave him a bloody nose, that was all we tell you. I mean, it was really tactical, a lot of thought process into it. I mean, Dracnian just...
Dracnian rebelled.
What an arse.
What an arse of a demon. Let's face it, if it had ended in turn 5, you'd have won.
Yes.
You'd have won on a technicality because you were many points in the lead, but you would have won. That's how close the game it was. On turn 5, you had it. On turn 6, I had it. That's how close it was. But in the end, you only got a couple of characters left and a Rhino.
And some cultists.
And some cultists. Oh, yeah. They were...
to be honest with you, I forgot about them.
Okay. Right, thank you everyone for listening and watching that game. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to see any more Winter's SEO battle reports, then check out deploymentzone.tv. This battle map comes to you from urbanmats.com. Check out elementgames.co.uk, our awesome sponsor. Thank you for Chewy for coming all the way down here one more time. You are legend. That's it. Sol Garro won. Happy wargaming.